Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers and sisters. Welcome to the Virtual Racing Car Club, VTCC, the Virtual Touring Car Cup, here on this here channel. My name is King Kodiak, otherwise known as Chris Buxton. I will be your commentator throughout this evening's race, the grand finale of season number 3. You can hear the engines are revving up. We have 21 drivers joining us for this final showdown here at the home of British motorsport. It is, of course, Silverstone. Now then, before we head trackside, let's have a quick look at where we stand with the championships. There we go. That's how the season has gone. Now, it is the Silverstone special. Usually we do 3 races at the same circuit. We are doing 3 races on the same circuit, but we are doing 3 different layouts for all 3 versions of Silverstone. We will be doing that with 21 drivers. Yes, please, is all I have to say to that. So Andy Gillone has one hand on the trophy. As you can see now, he has to beat Roy Grassi as long as he beats him in race 1 and in a race at least, I should say, and remain in the top 6. If he does that in race 1, he cannot be caught. But if Roy Grassi beats Andy Gillone, it still is mathematically possible. Everyone else is not in contention for the championship, but has got honours to fight for. And very, very close. We have got some great battles. Aaron Ladd, David Moll, fairly close to that. Look at that, though, from Brendan Van Heeden, Josh Quincy, Christus Podence, and Stu Neal, and also Toby Owen, very, very close together indeed. But the Go Bobby Cup. Now, this is for all drivers in the pro lobby that had not won a race before this season began. Look at that, the top 4 to 6 points apart. Chris Callahan, Mark Guerrero, Josh Quincy, and Colin Dunn very, very close together. Alex Sanders still in with the shout, but needs a bit more luck on his side, 10 points adrift. And Christus Podence, of course, has been flying up the table in his rounds, but I don't think mathematically he can do it unless everyone ahead of him doesn't score at all. And Quintin, JP McGinley, Kiki Matt Webb scoring points as well. Matt, we haven't seen for a while, but I believe he's with us tonight. For those wanting to see things from the driver's perspective, those are the trackside streamers, so to speak. Let's crack on with the action then, shall we, and see who we have got in tonight's race. Hello to those that are live with me in chat tonight. Quintin's changed his name. Now, his online name is Whispered, I think it is, or Whispered. He's given that BMW plenty of beans. As he is flying around the circuit. Don't blame him whatsoever. Unless I'm missing something on my side. There we go. Right, so Quintin Chauvetot is with us. Rank Dropper is... I know, he's always his name. It's the same person every time. It catches me out. It will come to me. Alex Jameson. Oh, he's chasing Stu Neal. The Ambition Racing BMWs are very close together once again. There is Stu Neal. And there's the other one. All 3 of them are actually lined astern, I just realised. Carl Benson is Rank Dropper. Just knew it would come to me eventually. So there you go. You can see a whole host of people. Everyone. Now, this is a practice session, I will add. This is not qualifying. It's just people getting out there and maybe practicing some slipstreaming or just getting a feel for the full GP layout. So we're on the full GP layout to start with. Just as an overview. That's, of course, what it looks like. Now, we will be running the international and national versions later on in the night. Roy Grassi is with us in his minty flavoured Renault. JP McKinley. There he is. from the Celtic Bromance squad. Brendan Van Heeden. He's at the back of this particular train. There he is in his red and white Renault. Now we have a new entrant. Now this is another one that's come over from Apex Online Racing, who, in conjunction with them, we are doing several things over here on Project Cars 2. Who's joined me in the commentary box? Oh, I have Mr. Mark Merrill joining me in the box. Hello, sir.
Good evening. How are we?
I'm always honoured to be in your presence, Mr. Worrell. You know that too well.
You jest as well. Thank you.
Now, Mr. Worrell is in very hot contention for the Go Bobby Cup, but has already stated off air that you're here for the fun of it and nothing more. But even still, it must be quite good to sort of be in contention, have that opportunity to fight for a championship.
I said that off air because I knew Chris Callahan was in the same lobby, and I was going to take something different now we're in this one, but Chris has just joined us, so he'll be able to hear this. So, yeah, I'm still in it for the fun. In all honesty, I came into this championship first time with the VRCC and the VTCC just for a bit of fun. I knew I wouldn't be able to do every round, but with the changes and what's going on in the world at the moment to my both domestic and European motorsport calendar, I've ended up doing every round, and therefore I never expected to be in this position. So I'm just going to enjoy it tonight, and what will be will be. It's at the end of the day, it's a bit of fun. You guys and Toby and VRCC all doing this fantastically well, very professional championship, but I'm in it for fun, and you know, I'll congratulate whoever is the champion at the end of this evening.
Very gracious of you indeed, Mr. Worrell. It's been great to have you a part of it as well. So we wish you the best of luck for tonight's festivities as well. Now,
and good luck to Chris, Josh, Colin and Alex, who are all in it as well.
Excellent stuff. Thank you very much, Mark. Now, also joining us, as Mark has already alluded to, we do have our contenders for the Go Bobby Cup joining us for a quick word. Chris Callahan, hello to you, sir. So what are your thoughts towards the Go Bobby Cup? Is it are you taking the laid back approach, or is it still all cutthroat and ready to go?
Literally what Mark's answer was is similar to mine. So what will be. Just going to try and go and enjoy it, not put too much pressure on myself. My teammate also could win it in Josh Quincy. He's fourth. He's only 4 seconds behind. But we've also got to look out for RFC, Mr. Alex Saunders as well. He's been scoring about 25 and 30 points a round, and I've been averaging about 20, 25. So there's 5 of us that could take this, so it should be absolutely fascinating.
Oh, hell yes. I'm thoroughly looking forward to doing my usual shouty shenanigans that I'm known for. And we also have the banana split flavoured BMW driver with us, Aaron Large. Hello to you, sir.
Hello, just thought I'd gate crash this nice little comms box.
Why not?
A lot warmer than yeah, I sort of messed up, and now I don't get any practice, so yeah, so I'm here.
Well, we will be heading to qualifying for race number 1 very, very shortly. So I did notice a couple of people had magically vanished. What did you do? Did you accidentally exit?
No, I exited on purpose. I forgot Mr. Crew Chief again.
Okay.
Seems to happen a lot.
Fair enough. What are your thoughts for Silverstone then? Bearing in mind that we have got all 3 layouts of Silverstone tonight, what are your thoughts towards that particular setup?
I think you're going to see it very quickly on probably the 3rd corner where I completely misjudged what track we're on.
Oh, well, yeah. You won't be alone there. I dare say you won't be alone on needing a reminder of which direction you're supposed to be turning this time around. I don't know what
it's going to be interesting.
I don't know what the weather's doing. Are we in for a dry night? Or
I really hope so. I believe so.
All sessions are clear for qualifying and race tonight.
Okie dokie. So you're spared the inclement weather. Well, qualifying has
certainly needed after last week.
Qualifying has now begun. Gentlemen, start your engines. Best of luck. We'll see you on the other side.
Thank you. Cheers, Chris.
Good luck, everyone.
Indeed. So that was Mark Worrell, Chris Callahan and Aaron Large joining me very, very unprompted, but very welcome nonetheless. Right then, qualifying for race number 1 is underway. Roy Grassi really getting it. Wow. He's very keen to get on with it, isn't he? Giving it plenty of beans around the loop. So we did lose a couple of drivers. I did notice that. Aaron Large was one of them. One of them has reappeared, which I'm assuming is Aaron. Oh, no, there we go. We're back up to 21. Fantastic. Josh Quincy was, I think, the other. So, I didn't really get a chance to run through everybody, as suddenly had people joining me. Whoa, Quintin giving it plenty of beans on the 8 of the loop as well. On Cole Tyres going to be in the list. Run through the list quite quickly, as we didn't quite get through everybody last time around. Master Ron is Aaron Larch. You'll see him in the banana split flavour BMW as it emerges from the pit lane. That's a terrible camera for those coming out of the pit lane, just staring at the wall, but there he is in the treble wide. Josh Quincy for Full Send is back. Not Full Send. I keep mixing up his team livery with the Full Send guys. It's close, but not quite the same. But there is Josh Quincy, and there's the Celtic Bromance pair right ahead of it. That's the Full Send BMW. It's Quintin Chauvetot. Glad to see him with this. There is Carl Benson. Now remembered his name again. I apologise, Carl. I really do. He's a lovely guy. And I keep forgetting his name because it only ever appears as rank top, and for some odd reason my brain just doesn't seem to connect the dots when it should do. The mighty South African of Alex Jameson is with us once again in the number 3 BMW for Ambition Racing. There's the 14 of Stu Neal, also in the Ambition Racing squad, along with the man that could well seal the championship, and he will of course blame me for commentator cursing him if it doesn't happen, and I will take that commentator curse fully on the nose. Andy Gillone, no, Andrex Gillone as he's calling himself, chasing Colin Dunn down the hangar straight towards Stowe. Roy Grassi, we saw him come out first, and there he is just crossing the old start finish. Oh no, that's the current start finish line, I beg your pardon. He's just starting his run. JP McKinley for Celtic Bromance, good to see him back with us. Our second South African in the form of Brendan Van Heeden. I keep meaning to ask him what the gummy bear thing is about. Now, Crab, we were just about to mention him before we got joined. His name, I was given his name and I've completely forgotten. It is Guttis Stalsons. Now, apologies, Crab, if I'm getting that wrong. Like I say, he's come to join us from the Apex Online Racing Camp, who hopefully we will continue to do collaborations with in the future. There is Chris Callahan. So currently leading the Go Bobby Cup by a single point over Mark Werrell at the moment. Those two have been locked in battle. Well, several of them, as Chris alluded to, has been locked in battle for that cup all season long, giving it plenty of beans. Very nicely done through Abbey. Love the sideways action from the ready. There is Colin Dunn, who he had some fans with him last time out. Hopefully he has the same support this time around in the 19 Track and Beyond Renault. Yoga Christus Podens still dominated the way as he was top of the timesheet in practice. Surprises no one. Also from the Apex Online Racing Camp. And we still don't have an updated livery for him, which is fair enough. Jason Powell, we haven't seen him for a while. He's actually got his real-life racing Renault decked out in the same livery. Now, last season, the livery he ran in was based upon his real-life car livery, and this time it's the other way around. He's actually, or if I've understood his post in Discord correctly, he's actually re-liveried his car in this grey and orange paint scheme. Love it. There is Mark Werrell, who, real-life motorsports commentator, the man responsible for getting me in the commentary box, as I mentioned before. He was due to be in Valencia this weekend. He would have been flying home on a plane at this particular moment, or not long having got home from doing so. But with, of course, a very heavily affected motorsports calendar, he's being chased hard by one of the full-set Renaults. Quite doubt who that is. There's Matt Webb. We haven't seen him for a little while, but it's good to see him back on the track. Kiki Mack, again, there's another one we haven't seen for a while, but glad to see the second of the Celtic Bromance squad back on track with us. Slowly emerging from the pit lane is Toby Owen. He's getting out of Jason Powell's way and returning to the pits. Okay, not sure what's going on with Toby Owen. But our Commander-in-Chief, the founder of the VRCC, is just returning to the pits again. So at the top of the qualifying sheet, what a surprise. It is Christus Podens, as he's got a face full of Roy Grassi as they're coming through Luffield now. We had the great privilege of being able to watch the 2019 British Grand Prix, or British Grand Prix weekend, and it was absolutely boiling. Andy Gillon has set a time as well, so 2:09.2 for Christus Podence. Andy Gillon is, well, I think Cameron is just trying to pick a direction to point in. I know he's actually following him. Alex Saunders, we didn't mention him as we were going through the list because he set a time just before I got to his name. There he is. Now, he was the one that was chasing Mark Werrell home. Currently third, 2:10.338. Brendan Van Heeden, fourth, 2:10.603. Now, there's not going to be any weather advantage or disadvantage given, as it is going to be bone dry all evening long, which is very unlike the current weather here in Britain. David Moll, we didn't mention him either in the full set number 33. Guten Abend, Herr Moll, as I tend to say to him, and did so earlier on. There is Alex Jameson, 2:11.0, so we can expect a bit better from the mighty South African. There is Crab. Now I am going to. It's an unusual name to me, at least. There's Gattis Stalsons. Again, apologies if I am not getting that quite correct. I'll do my best to make sure I say that correctly. That's 7th, 2:11.082. Oh, just 0.003 of a second behind Alex Jameson. Roy Grassi just coming out of the pits for another run. 2:11.318 for him in 8th position. Jokic is cheating. I know him in real life. Well, I'm sure that's not the first time he's had that levelled at him. Please ban. I'm sure he will know who has made that comment about it, but thank you for joining in the chat nonetheless, sir. Storming time from Christus Podence up top. So, blue BMW. It's Josh Quincy. It's a lot of beans going through Vale and into club to set a time, chasing Toby Owen home. Does he improve? 2:14.6. No, he does indeed. 2:11.361, 100ths of a second behind Aaron Large. Slots him in 10th place. That's close. As we're right on board, just get an idea. Actually, we're in cockpit. Just see how that BMW's been absolutely launched around. He's trying to find a way past Toby Owen. Now, if Toby's on a hot lap, which, assuming that he would be, he's only got a 2:29 on the board as Josh Quincy returns to the pits. He doesn't have to relinquish. He doesn't have to give any space, etc., etc., as we just see Christus Podence and that was Stu Neal also crossing the... There's a lot of love for Christus Podence in the chat tonight. Would be a shame if Yoga would crash. I say nothing. I am a commentator. I am a neutral party. Gillon currently second. Well, if he finished there, bearing in mind Roy Grassi, the two Scotsmen at the top of the tree in the championship. I'll just read out the notes I was given again. Now, there will be a bit of a bigger gap in between each race so that we can get a live championship update from Toby Owen post-event. So if Andy Gillon finishes ahead of Roy Grassi in race 1 and in the top 6, so it doesn't matter where in the top 6 Andy finishes, if he's ahead of Roy Grassi, then he is champion. If both drivers finish outside of the top 6 and Gillon is more than one position clear of Roy Grassi, then he is champion. So the momentum very much in Andy Gillon's favour, but certainly not impossible. We've seen Andy Gillon get some bad luck and some big incidents. Race 2 last time out at the Nürburgring as a prime example. He got absolutely mullered in race 2, so wasn't able to finish then. So it's not impossible for Roy Grassi to overturn it. We will see. Carl Benson coming through Stowe. So I'm just going to make sure I have Crab's name in easy reach because I will need to refer to it. Gattis Stalsons. I was only informed of that about an hour ago, so I haven't had a chance to. Please ban Crab, which is Gattis Stalsons, because he doesn't like the BMW. Well, let's see. I'd sign that petition. I'm unashamedly a fan of the BMW in Project Cars 2. Also, this is set to be the final season of the VTCC, the Virtual Touring Car Cup, in Project Cars 2. It is set to move over to Assetto Corsa for Season 4 and forwards. The particular mod to be used is yet to be decided, but the platform is going to move over to Assetto Corsa. Project Cars 2 is, of course, quite an old title now. Well, Assetto Corsa is a much older title, but has a great deal more support for it than P-Cars 2 does. Andy Gillo! What a slide, sir, through Lovefield. Not the fastest way of doing it, but that was great to see. Very nicely done, sir. As Christos Podens jumps back to the pit. Oh, I just spotted Alex Saunders with a 2:10.338. Or if he wasn't there before, he certainly is there now. Alex Jameson, he's up to 5th. I'd have thought he'd be up further than that. Well, we'll see as he continues. That's not the current start-finish line. I think that's the old one. So that means he's coming through Cops. That's always what catches me out. That is indeed Cops. I always get caught out whenever I commentate on Silverstone. When the camera changes, I always kind of forget which start-finish line we're looking at. Through Mackens and Beckett's now for Jameson. Right on board with the South African. So he's using every available inch of track he can, coming through Chapel onto the hangar straight towards Stowe. Can't see who that is already ahead of him. That's someone pulled over far to the right hand side. And that is a backwards facing. Was that Andy Gillo? Yes, it was Andy. He's having a lot of fun. You don't expect to find headlights when you're heading down that way, as David Moll has jumped up to 5th position with a 2:10.798. Oh, and that's Jameson back to the pits, so it's not gone well for him, but still at the top of the tree is Christos Podens. Andy Gillo, as he's just having fun out there. He's boiling his tyres. And, well, we may be looking at a championship, but there's still fun to be had. It is still sim racing after all. So Alex Saunders, the top rated or top qualified Renault at the moment, heading to the line. 2:10.338 his current time. Does he improve? Not this time. Brendan Van Heeden currently 4th. That is Luffield, beg your pardon, that he's going through now. As he's chasing down, can't quite see who that is ahead. That's Toby Owen pulling over. And we have lost one from the session. No. We have lost someone from the session. I don't know who. I'm not very good at identifying who it is we've lost. Oh dear, I think we've lost our rank dropper. Oh no, he's there. Not sure who it is that disappeared from the session. That's a shame, as we are now within the final 3 minutes of the qualifying session, so they will not be able to rejoin. A few people jumping back to bits. Alex Jameson is done. Gacha Starsons is done, and Quintus Jovito are done in 6th, 7th, and 14th, respectively. That was Matt Webb we just saw in the back of the shot there. He's in 18th, the 2:13.3. Who's still out on track? Well, Andy Gillode has been going sideways quite a lot, so I can't imagine he's going to be improving very much on his time. Alex Saunders is taking a slightly unusual route and airborne. That's one way of trying to catch the back of Andy Gillode. Brendan Van Heeden is back. Show you Crab. Well, he's in the pits. There's not really much to show you. David Moll is still going. He's just started a hot lap, actually, as resident German. So down towards Village. Bit of a lock-up coming into that third turn. Into the loop for the full send number 33. Alex Jameson and Gatis Starsons, as mentioned, in the pits. Checker flag is out. There is Roy Grassi, currently in 8th, 2:11.145. As he exits the Magnus Beckett's Chapel section. There is Jogurk in the background, or Christos Podens. Heading down towards Stowe. What can Roy Grassi put on the board? And there's a sideways Christos Podens right behind him. in the mint accented Renault. Oh, bit of a lock up there, but keeps it going nonetheless. 2:11, 1:45 his time, 8th position on the clock. What does he do? And it is a 2:11.009. It puts him up ahead of Gattistalsens for 7th position. That's a very sideways Aaron Large in 9th place, 2:11.351. Stu Neal is still going. So that's over the old start-finish line. And back to the pits for him, 13th with a 2:12.263. JP McKinley still going. Aaron Large is, well, that's not too far apart from one another. Welcome everybody in chat. Good to see you all joining in. And always a great pleasure to have you all along for the ride. Let's see out the final season of the VTCC on Project Cars 2. Oh, Aaron Large, giving that all the beans. So next time out, we will be swapping over to Assetto Corsa. No improvement for Aaron Large. There was a lot of style points. No extra time. JP McKinley, what can he do as he comes out of Vale, out of club, beg your pardon, and moved up one position, I think, ahead of his teammate for 19th position. So it is for race 1 here at Silverstone. It is Christos Podens and Andy Gillone on row 1. Alex Sanders and Brendan Van Heeden, row 2. David Moll and Alex Jameson, row 3. Roy Grassi and Gattistalsens on row 4. Aaron Large and Jason Powell on row 5. Chris Callahan and Mark Ware once again locked together. Those two Renaults for Falcon and for Squadro Veloci Corsa. I think it is, if I've got that in the right order. On row 6, and then Stu Neal and Quinty Chauvetot, row 7. Colin Dunn and Carl Benson, row 8. Toby Owen and Matt Webb on row 9. And JP McKinley and Kiki Mack rounding out the field. Again, not 100% sure who it is we have lost. Oh, excuse me. So if I can, just going to quickly double check the Discord to see if I can figure out who it is that has disappeared. And at the moment, I do not know. Is the honest answer to that. Well, I'm having a quick look through. Everyone that's in voice is still in session, so I do not know. Hopefully that will become... No, you haven't missed anything, SGS Games. We are literally about to start race number 1 of the night. The only thing you've missed is qualifying for that. So then race 1 is going to be getting underway on the GP layout of the circuit. Race number 2 we'll use, I think, is the international version, of which is the random grid race, and then the national race will go on another qualifying session after that. So plenty of racing action and 20 drivers ready and raring to go to see off season number 3. Right then, without further ado, with this cameraman is drunk, it's time to wind them up and let them go! Oh, that's a cracking start from Gillo once again. That was a real bogged down start from Christos Podens there on the front row. So Gillo leads. Oh, nudge there from Saunders as Stalsens is flying off the road. My word, but that's... Wow, cars absolutely everywhere. Not the usual line you would take Mr. Saunders, but he's managed to rejoin in 5th position. Brendan Van Heeden up to 4th. There's David Moll in 6th position. Aaron Large 7. Roy Grassi 8. Jason Powell 9. And there is Stalsens. Gattistalsens with a big dent in the door. Stu Neal 11. Chris Callahan 12. Mark Well 13. There's lots of jostling. Look at that. Jostling absolutely everywhere. Carl Benson has had trouble. He's fallen down to the tail of the field behind the Celtic Bromance pair is, wow, they're having a great old scrap on their own. Let's jump up to the front of the field. Once again, look at that. The BMW is starting to run away. Alex Jameson's had a cracking start up to 3rd position as we come out of Stowe, through Woodcut and down towards Cops for the first time in anger. Roy Grassi having an argument with someone. We saw at the back end of that shot. There he is. Oh, getting nudged by Aaron Large coming through Cops. Look how defensive that Brendan Van Heeden's going to jump slightly further back. Look at that! So close between Aaron Large and Roy Grassi going into Maggots for the first time, and Jason Powell getting involved in there as well. Gillow leads. Podence leads Jameson. Then there's a bit of a gap between themselves and Alex Saunders, the lead runner at the moment. Looks like everybody has survived so far, and indeed everybody has survived so far. Great start from everybody. David Moll is gone to the front of this particular back. Oh, there's a lot of jostling as Brendan Van Heeden nudges the side of Gattis Townsend and is gone off the road at Stowe. Can he rejoin without killing anybody? Yes, he can. Nicely done. Aaron Large is having an argument with, I think that's Mark Werrell. It is indeed. Chris Callahan is... Oh, no, there's Aaron Large spun just as Callahan bounces off the side of Brendan Van Heeden, I think it was. Oh, no, Aaron Large has dropped all the way down to 19th now as Colin Dunn is the first to open up the penalty score. What's he got? He's got himself a 1 second penalty, and that's actually last place for Aaron Large. Top of the tree, Gillow still fending off the advances of Christus Podence. BMW top 3 once again. Well, we're rather accustomed to seeing that with these drivers. I make no apologies for absolutely loving the roar of those BMW engines. Oh, and actually, Podence has got himself a penalty as there's 1 second on the clock for him. I mean, his pace is just scary. How quick he is. Jameson doing what he can. Now, he's had some technical trouble throughout the season. It's good to see him in there. What's going on with Roy Grassi? Jason Powell. Nice move on the inside of Luffield to take that 6th position. There is Gattis Townsend that is making his way through now, trying to make up for a bit of lost time. Again, apologies if I'm getting the name incorrect. I know it's easy just to call him Crab, but I did try and use them. Wow, there's penalties everywhere. So one for Podence, one for Grassi, 2 for Matt Webb, 1 for Colin Dunn. Back up to the front, the look at that. And there goes Christus Podence. He's got a bit of slipstream from the back of Andy Gillow, but Gillow holding on to that inside line. Is he going to be able to hold on to it? As Podence tries to cut back underneath. Nicely done, but Gillow holding his own. Now he's going to have the inside line coming into Vale for the first time. And Gillow's just about to nose ahead, but... Oh, he does manage to hold it. Nicely done. Great racing from the top 2. Jameson's not far behind. That's allowing Saunders as well to try and catch up on the top 2. Well, top 3 indeed. As Jameson he's either just holding back or he hasn't quite got the pace over the top 2, which would be a bit of a surprise. But now we're seeing the field spread out just a little bit. No, we can't take bribes to ban people, I'm afraid. A lot more penalties on the board. On board with Gattis Townsend, guest driver for tonight. Not eligible for points, but is taking part nonetheless and is doing a pretty good job so far. We have lost a driver from the race. Again, I couldn't immediately identify who we have lost. There's another one gone. Oh my goodness me. Hopefully we're not having lobby trouble as he's looking on the inside of Jason Powell. Jason's got a bit deep going into Brooklands, and that is 7th position, but then relinquished almost straight away. Jason Powell on the inside line coming into Luffield, returns back to 7th position. Still glued together are the lead BMWs. Gillow still fending off Christus Podence, who's nearly pushing the Scotsman through Copse, heading down towards Maggins and Beckett side by side once again. We're right on board with Alex Jameson, who's only less than 1.5 seconds behind, and Podence has to slot back behind Andy Gillow once again. My word, there's absolutely great stuff going on. Oh, now I don't know if Podence has got a bit of a wiggle on coming through the exit of Beckett's there, or whether he's again trying the distraction technique on the Scotsman. There they are coming down towards the camera, and no, Podence can't get alongside, can't get enough slipstream. He's too close. Although saying that, he's going to try and around the outside at Stowe. That's not really going to work, and that's cost him time as he bounced off the door of Andy Gillow. Now heading down towards Vale before heading towards Club, and they will more than likely remain in those positions. That's Alex Saunders is essentially on his own. He can't slipstream off the back of Alex Jameson. Whoa, nearly flies off the road though, coming through Vale. David Moll in 5th position, keeping Roy Grassi at bay. There is Gattis Thousands now up into 7th, ahead of Jason Powell. Mark Werrell up to 9th position, so he's gained a few from his 6th row start. Toby Owen right behind has really done well. Starting near the back of the field, Toby Owen now up into 10th place. Chris Callahan 11, Matt Neal, Stu Neal. Matt Neal? Wrong entirely. Stu Neal in 12th, Kiki Mack in 13th. Aaron Large still trying to recover from the earlier problems in 14th position now, splitting the Celtic Bromance pair. Although saying that, JP McKinley on the inside line past the Banana Split BMW. Oh, but no, Aaron Large is having none of that. Side by side, bouncing off each other's door and not having it side by side again. Andy Gillone. And now Gillone's got the outside line trying to hold on and sideways through left field. That's not going to work out for him though. He didn't work out for Podence and it's not worked out for Gillone now. Once again, that is Christus Podence up into the lead. But of course, whilst they've been fighting, Jameson, who's added to his penalty count by the look, he has indeed. Everyone's added to their penalty count almost. As he's not closed in. I thought Jameson had actually closed in a little bit. He really hasn't done. So the top two still absolutely glued together. Dare I look away? Grassi still keeping David Moll for company. Not too far back is Gattis Thousands. There is the orange BMW being hounded by Jason Powell. Mark Werrell looking to try and join the particular party. Oh, Toby Owen, I think, was a little bit deep coming through Maggers and Beckett's there. But he's up into 10th position. Stu Neal and Chris Callahan very, very close together. That's the view from the Renault as he's trying to challenge for that 11th position. Close but no cigar. Stu Neal had a cracking exit from Chapel. And into club for the end of this particular lap. Gillone knows he doesn't have to challenge for the position, just has to stay within a second, and he will inherit that lead. But that is no mean feat, as he knows all too well the raw, monstrous pace of Christus Podence. Further back, Matt Webb and Quintus Chauvet are having an argument for 16th position. Colin Dunn is behind them, very much in the wooden spoon position now. Aaron Large having a look at JP McKinley. That's for 14th place. See them on the bottom of the shot. As the BMW glides through Abbey. Callahan on the inside of Stu Neal. Big lock-up from the Renault. Going into Village. Whoa, Stu Neal. Oh, that's... Yeah, I was going to say that wasn't going to go well. And Stu Neal's bounced off of the Renault. That's going to cost him a fair amount of time. Mark Werrell could potentially be under threat in a little while from Toby Owen. Well, saying that, Mark Werrell was actually the quicker of those two Renaults last time around. So whilst the proxy indicator is there, it may well not be forthcoming. Jason Powell still on the back of Gattis Thousands. Roy Grassi, well, he's not really on the back of David Mummel anymore. And you know, no, drunk cameraman once again. Oh, that's a big slide from both of them. Well, Andy Gillone could well fall outside of the second he needs to hold on to re-inherit the lead. Oh! No, either that's Christus Podence deciding he wants to have a bit more of a scrap, or he's overcooked the slide on Chapel. We didn't really see, but that's actually allowed Jameson up into second. Well. Don't discount anything, because again, Jameson's got a 2-second penalty along with the 1 second from Podence. Well, yeah. Roy Grassi on the back of David Moll. Now they're very, very close together. The German having to fend off the advances of the Scotsman as both of them lock up coming into Vale. Doing what they can to try and keep each other at bay. Jason Powell still keeping Gattis Thousands company for 7th place. Just lots of battles throughout the field. Well, that's the nature of return car racing, and that's Podence on the inside of Jameson. I don't think Jameson really fought that one too hard. He may well just concede that if he's having technical trouble or his penalty count is not allowing that anyway. He's opted not to fight. Or he's overcooked that one into Village. He looked like he conceded the spot. 3.5 minutes to go, even for the likes of Christus Podus. That's going to be a difficult gap to close down. We'll certainly do it, but we will see. But looks like a... I was going to say it's a comfortable position for Glenn, but I think that's a little bit premature to say that. But look at this lot. Quinton Chauvetot on the back of Stu Neal, who's keeping JP McKinley company. Right ahead of them is Aaron Nice. Look at that lot. There's a big old scrap for what is essentially 13th place. Ooh, Stu Neal not quite getting the approach into left field quite right. Kiki Mack and Chris Callahan having an argument for 11th place. So again, still lots of fighting going on. And oh my goodness, already! I wonder if Andy Gillows made a mistake there, because already Christens is on his tail. My goodness me, 2.5 minutes to go, 2 laps remain. No, what am I on about? No, well, 1 and a bit laps remain. They will be on the final lap next time around. So both of them are going to be fighting for that win, but Gilland essentially has nothing to lose. He will, as mentioned earlier, with the championship connotations, he's finished, of course, ahead of Roy Grassi. Oh, that's a big move. I thought that was going to be a big lockup there for Christus Podence. No, not quite. Final lap of race number 1 of the grand final of season 3 here at the VTCC. And already, Podence having a look on the inside, coming through turn 1, side by side to Abbey. Both BMWs holding their ground. We've got to watch on board with Alex Jameson here as he's actually closed in because of that particular move. Oh, Jameson's gone deep again, going through Village. Podence looks set to have a go. Whoa, very sideways, going through the loop. Now onto the Wellington Straight. And Gillow's gone to the defensive line. Well, Gillow's not going to let him just dance into the lead here, right at the top of the show. You can see David Moll and Roy Grassi still having their argument. If I can click on the right name. Still side by side again, going through Brooklands. We saw this didn't pan out well for Andy Gillow last time around, and it doesn't look like it's going to pan out well for Andy Gillow. Although still side by side though, as they come through Woodcote. Westcote? What am I talking about? Woodcote. Now still side by side, coming down towards Cops. Who is going to blink first? Surely Gillon's going to have to concede that. No, he's not having any of that. He wants to be side by side, coming into Maggots. Oh my goodness, Gillon has managed to nose back into the lead. Can he hold it? Yes, he can. And he's right. Well, I was going to say he has managed to get back up into the lead, but Christus Podence is trying to do something about it once again. Let's right on board with our camera car. I know there's battles going on everywhere, but we need to see this one for the lead. Gillone has managed to do it, but here comes Jameson. What can he do in the final dying stage of this race? I thought he was going to try and make that 3 wide then, but opted not to do so. Christus Podence has actually managed to slipstream past Andy Gillone into Stowe. What can Jameson do here? Side by side into Vale. My goodness me. Well, they put on a show right to the very last, but your winner here in Silverstone for race number 1 over the line first is going to be Christus Podence, but taking the win overall is going to be Andy Gillone. There it is, adjusted for penalties. Alex Jameson takes the 2nd place spot in the end. Oh, well, there must be more penalties. There was indeed more penalties, 3 seconds in the end for Christus Podence. 4th is Alex Sanders. We didn't really see much of him because he got into no man's land. David Moll fended off the advances of Roy Grassi for 5th position. Jason Powell managed to finish... did he finish ahead? Yes, he must have done. What? Oh, he's now, beg your pardon. It's with the penalties moving the names around like they're calling about. So there's Gattis, Salzens in 6th. Jason Powell 7th. We'll get through the rest of the positions in a minute. Roy Grassi down to 8th place. That's what called me out with the penalties. Mark Werrell 9, Toby Owen 10, JP McKinley 11th, Kiki Mack 12. That's a fairly decent result for them considering how their season's gone. Quentin Chauvetot 13, Chris Callahan 14, Stu Neal 15, Colin Dunn 16, Matt Webb 17, Aaron Arjun 18th. We did indeed lose Carl Benson in the course of the race. We did lose 2 others, and I'm not 100% sure who it was we lost. Oh my goodness me. Well, I did think it was going to be quite the show, and we definitely were not disappointed, were we? Right, let's get the interview music going in the background. We've got some people coming to join me. Let's see who we have got. So we have several people coming to join me. I'm always happy to see. Right, who have we got? Okay, we have our top 3. Well, that's great to see. Let's have a chat with Mr. Jameson. We haven't chatted to you for a little while. Hello to you, Alex.
Good evening.
Well, you for a while it looked like you were just kind of loitering in the background. I mean, it's good to see that your technical issues didn't creep up on you and nail you again. Were you just kind of enjoying the show, or was it was the pace a bit tricky for you to handle? I find that very difficult to believe as I say it.
No, the pace was genuinely a bit tricky. I didn't manage to do any practice for this one, so I wasn't expecting to be near the front. I was quite happy just to be able to hang on to the back of them. That was probably more than I expected. So, but yeah, technical issues kept at bay, and yeah, managed to get in a good fight with the guys in the last few laps, which is good.
Yeah, you certainly did. We saw that transpire. Now, at one point, you were ahead of Kristen's coming into, I think it was third lap from the end. Was it just a little bit too deep going into Village, or did you relinquish the position?
No, I just ran a bit deep there. I was hoping to hold him up a bit more for Andrew, being his teammate. But yeah, at the end of the day, I just got my brake heel a bit wrong into there, so I wasn't able to keep him behind for very long at all.
Okie dokie. So, is it the international one we're going on to? I should have looked that up before we went live.
Honestly, I have absolutely no idea. When I said I didn't have any practice, I didn't actually even know what track we were doing this week.
Excellent.
Sitting down in the seat. Yeah, so no idea what's coming up next, but we'll see.
Fantastic. So hail, sleet and snow for Alex Jameson. Well, best of luck for the random grid race in whatever version of Silverstone we're about to face next. Thank you very much, Alex Jameson.
Thank you.
Mr. Podens, you utter lunatic. Well, we had a lot of fun shouting about. Well, I had a lot of fun shouting about your on-track antics. We were offered a bribe to have you banned, and you could probably guess who made that accusation in chat. But you had some fun out there. Me. It wasn't anybody here. No, you had some fun out there, didn't you?
It was wild, and it was just genuinely fun racing. Andrix, he's pretty tough when he actually, prepared for the races. I hope he prepared for the race at least. Yeah, I was just trying to get past him. It was really hard. Then I just kind of forced a move, and it worked out. But then I was starting to get a little gap, but I drove on a curb, and it just kind of unsettled the car. You know how the Project Cars 2 curbs work. So, yeah, I lost the position, and I still continue to fight back, just for the sake of racing. Like, it was just really fun. Like, I didn't care about the penalties. I already knew that I would probably lose, but I just wanted to finish first on track.
Which you did. In fairness, you did manage that. Yeah, Project Cars 2 curbs and working is a bit of a mutually exclusive phrase, as well, So, random grid race then haven't always paid well for you, although you had a wonderful fight through from near the back of the pack last week, out some fights on pretty much every corner you came across. Will we see the same again this week?
Hopefully.
Excellent stuff. Best of luck for the remaining rounds of the night. Thank you very much, Christus Podens.
Yep, thank you.
Well, champ.
Yeah.
Well, you looked like you had a lot of fun. We did see some of your drifting antics in practice and in qualifying. You've been having a lot of fun today, haven't you?
Yeah, I've fortunately put myself in a position where I just kind of need to finish near the top end, so I don't have a massive amount of pressure other than I just can't really throw it entirely away. So I've not done a huge amount of practice. I was seeing Yogurt's time trial times. I was a little bit concerned, but yeah, it's good fun. And when you get guys that are very similar pace, and you know how they drive, and you can kind of trust them on track, and you can drive side by side, you know that they're not going to punt you or anything like that, then yeah, it's just so satisfying to race like that, and it's what I do it for. It's great fun.
It certainly looked like you were having a lot of fun out there. Now, the notes I was given at the beginning of the night was you had to finish. If you finished race 1 in the top 6 and ahead of Roy Grassi, you are champion. And I would pretty safely conclude that is what you've done. So,
yeah, I've not really been paying that much attention to it. I knew I had a healthier lead in terms of points, but at the end of the day, I treat each race the same. Every time you hit the track, then you're out to do the best you can, really, at the end of the day. So, yeah, you can't control what other people do. So, Roy could have been right up there in the top 4 or 5 or so, and if I got knocked out or had a technical issue or whatever, then yeah, you know, the championship's absolutely still on the go. So you've got to try and do the best you can for sure. But yeah, it just takes the edge off when there's not quite so much pressure that you're fighting for 2 or 3 points when you've got enough of a lead that you can take it. Not easy, but you don't have to go at 110%. So yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well said, good sir. So last week, I think it's fair to say that the random grid race didn't go well for you.
Not quite so well. Yeah, I think both the last 2 weeks in a row, the random grid has certainly taketh. So I would like it to give us tonight. That'd be nice if we got a good position, but certainly now, when there's absolutely no pressure, I don't mind starting anywhere. So at the back, have some fun. Yeah, absolutely no problem. So, yeah, I bet now that I don't want to be at the back, that I don't want to be at the front, then it's going to put me in the front row or something annoying. But there we go. We'll see what happens. Luck of the draw.
Best of luck for the remaining races. Well done on the championship. Thank you very much, Andrew Gillone.
Thank you.
Right, we do seem to have a bit of a lobby problem at the moment, which is what has contributed to the extended delay. But whilst that is being resolved, unfortunately our lobby host, his game crashed. So the lobby is being rebuilt, and we will get into that as soon as we can. Now, as mentioned, this is the final time we'll be running the VTCC in Project Cars 2. It's had 3 seasons here. It's established itself very, very nicely. Still is growing, and there's always room for more. So for those wishing to get involved, find the Virtual Racing Car Club on Facebook is the best way to make yourself known. Find the group, make yourself known. Toby Owen is the founder and is the man that tends to rule the roost. And you may have crazy people like myself shouting about your on-track antics soon enough. And I can see the lobby has been remade. So I will rejoin that now. We will get race number 2, our random good race, going as soon as we can. And it's going to be on... Oh, okay, so it's on the national version. So it's the shortest track that's got the random grid element. So it will be on the international circuit for the final iteration. Fair enough. That is good to see. And it is indeed dry weather, so we're not facing any randomness as far as that is concerned. Oh, I've been joined again by... Oh, hello! It's Kiki Mac. And, it's the Celtic Bromance pair, indeed. Always a pleasure to have a chat to our Celtic Bromance pair. Now, it is worth noting that we have the AM champion and AM runner-up from last season in the box now. Let's have a chat to Mr. Mac, which is a weird sentence to say. Kiki, are you with us?
I'm here. Hello. How are you doing, Chris?
You know me. I'm always having good fun shouting about the on-track antics. So talk us through it from your side. So this was your first season in Pro, and it seems to have been a bit of a struggle for you, but you've been having a great old fight with, well, whoever's near you, which is generally each other.
Yeah, it tends to be the case. We always seem to finish within a second of each other or so. Like that race was separated by 2/10 after a 2-second penalty on my half. So it's always good fun. Seem to do better in the random grid races where I can just defend from in front of people as opposed to have to try and fight from behind with my poor qualifying. But it's been a good season so far. So you've got 2 more races left.
We do.
If we can pick up any points, I think there's no nothing on the line anymore. We can't win Go Bobby. Not gonna get anywhere near the top of the whole standings. So it's just gonna go out there, enjoy it, battle who we can, and have fun.
Good man. Great to hear. Great to hear. Now, we've been talking about the fact that the VTCC is moving over to Assetto Corsa next time around. Now, I believe, if I remember correctly, both of you are AC aficionados. Now, you guys have done a lot of AC, if I remember that right. Is that correct?
We do a lot of ACC, so we do a lot of the GT3 and GT4 racing. As for AC, we did the Clios with VRCC, and we've done...
You've done the MX-5 Cup, haven't you?
No, just the Clios.
Oh, okay.
Also, we did a Daytona 12-hour endurance as well, which was my first time at GT, was doing 12 hours in a GTE.
Oh! Well, that's one way to welcome you to the sim, I suppose.
Yeah. We normally try and get an endurance every week at the weekend, like normally on a Saturday or whatever, on ACC. We just like it too much. Like we like it too much.
Fair enough. So what about you, JP? Are you happy that we're moving away from PCAS 2?
I'm not gonna lie. This season has been pretty hard. Even in the normally, last season, I really enjoyed the random grids and all, but this season I just never had any luck, and I was always on the back row, pretty much for every.
You have been absolutely stitched so many times in the random grid. It is true.
But this is, it's just how it is. But coming into this, I was thinking about calling it a day with Project Cars. But now that there's talk about moving it to AC, it definitely has sparked my interest. So it's a possibility for sure.
Jolly good. We would love to have you both with us for season 4, and yeah, the series just seems to keep growing and growing, and we look forward to having the Celtic Bromance banners flying once again.
Yeah, that'll be a great thing to have, especially if we have the 3 lobbies that were talked about for this season, but we ended up with just the 2. But if we can get the Pro-Am and the Am lobbies, I think we'd sit quite nicely in that Pro-Am slot, and maybe be fighting for top positions again in that one.
Awesome stuff. Well,
here's hoping, anyways.
Absolutely. Best of luck for the remainder of the night, and for ventures moving forward. Thank you very much, the Celtic Bromance pair, Kiki Mack and JP McKinley.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good night. Good luck.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, always a pleasure. Right, we're just waiting for the second lobby to get underway. Yes, also, Kiki also mentioned there that we are looking to have the 3 lobbies set up. So Pro-Am, and Am is the ideal. We were hoping to have that in this season, but the numbers didn't quite justify it. We would have had sort of 3 relatively smaller lobbies, which we didn't want. So we are looking to expand enough to have the 3 lobbies in place. So there's always going to be someone to fight with, whether you're a complete beginner or an absolute racing ace. There will be someone to fight with, and we would hope to place you in the lobby that best suits your skill. So if you're looking to get involved, whether you're first-time sim racer or a seasoned veteran, we always welcome anyone over here at the VRCC. We have a wide range of cups going on as well, so it's not just the Virtual Touring Car Cup. We have the Mazda MX-5, we have the Classic Clios. They tend to be done on Assetto Corsa, as mentioned. We will be having some Project Cars 2 races going on, so we're not completely abandoning PCAS 2. It's just the VTCC specifically is moving away from PCAS 2. As we can see, we're heading down to the track. Oh, we have a qualifying session in. Okay, unless we might be running race 3 before race 2. That would explain why we are on the smaller track. Oh, that's a practice session. I beg your pardon. That is I wonder if that's why, because we're running the 3 different tracks. So Toby Owen, our lobby host for the night, and as they are founder, may well have taken pity on our drivers and just allowed a 5-minute practice. That makes sense. It it's very easy to get kind of stonewalled and stick to the racing line you've just done. And then suddenly you find a bunch of cones across the track. So right on board with our fresh champion. Obviously he hasn't been crowned yet until the season is complete, but he will be our champion, Andy Gillone, for the Pro Lobby. For the last 2 seasons it's been Alex Jameson, but this time around it's the Bonnie Scotsman that's taken the top honours. We're right on board with Mr. Gillone. There'll be a lot of sideways, so if that induces some travel sickness, I do apologise. Just look at that. It makes it look so effortless. So this is how the track is going to go as we go over the start-finish line for this circuit. Now this starts us down at Copse. We do not go through the traditional turn 1, which is of course Abbey. So there's Copse, there's the pit lane exit. We head down towards Maggots. So we take Maggots, but then we go through this cut through here. Anyone that forgets is going to be met with a rector wall. And then we rejoin the track at Aintree onto the Wellington Straight. Oh, there's a so Andy Gillone goes to try and kill Chris's Podens. Into Brooklands. Fairly sideways, as you would imagine, from Andy Gillone. Then lots of rubber being laid down on the ground from Andy Gillone through all the way through Luffield, through Woodcote, and that is a lap of the national circuit of Silverstone. So the practice session will run out in, of course, 2.5 minutes. This does not form the grid unless our lobby host has forgotten to turn qualifying off. We will see. 20 drivers this time. We're still 1 down. Don't know. Again, I haven't worked out who it is we've lost. Brendan, when he did, at the top of the tree at the moment. As you can see, it's generally a sub-minute lap, being this is a very, very short version of Silverstone. We'll have 20 drivers all doing battle. It's a very, very short circuit, so there's going to be a fair amount of action, I dare say. David Moll in 11th position, chasing Stu Neal and being chased by Roy Grassi. He was right up, he was right there in the championship fight, right up until the very last. It was denied the top honours by the consistent performance of Andy Gillone and detonates a braking board whilst he's actually... Oh, and Andy Gillone's just taking the top spot there. He is just coming through that same shot. The 58.279. This is a practice session. It doesn't relate to anything to do with the grid. Oh, and of course, Mr. Podens takes that top spot. Whoa, and flies off the road at Copse. Being chased by Aaron Large as well. With Chris Callahan right in front of him. Of course, because it's such a short lap, the gaps will be very, very, very close for the most part. JP McKinley, who we've not long spoken to. One of the Celtic bromance pair. Although, I keep saying that because I'm so used to them being just a pair, but Jogurk, or Christus Podens, is also representing the that particular squad. The Celtic bromance team. So they have had a fair amount of points from the late joining Christians. There's Colin Dunn. Didn't do too well in race 1. We're hoping to improve. There's of course guest driver Gattis Stalzens. Josh Quincy has flown off the road somewhere. Matt Webb. Whoa, that's someone flying off the road. Right in the background. I suspect that's Josh Quincy. Where is Josh? There he is. It is indeed Josh Quincy. It's the Falcon pair. A few people returning to pits. Checker flag is out. The session will be switching over to the random grid very, very shortly. So again, the traditional BMW way of getting through any corner is with a fair amount of slidey ways going on. Gillone is done. 58.2. Alex Jameson is in there somewhere. It's not those two. There he is. And he returns to the pits. Jason Powell in 4th. 58.3. 4 thousandths of a second ahead of Aaron Large. Nice time there, set by the banana split BMW. 20 seconds, ready or not, here we come. Nope, that was a piece of something that was flying into the camera there. Just someone flew off the road and detonated their car. Well, as mentioned, it is just a practice session, which it's the same 3 at the top as we had in the qualifying session last time around. Jason Powell, that's a great time from Jason there for the Track and Beyond squad. Right then, he called it. Andy Gillone called it. He said he didn't want to be on the front. He wanted to have a last to first fight, and it stuck him on pole. He called that. But Quinton Chauvetot in second position. Josh Quinty third. JP McKinley in fourth. Nicely done for Celtic Bromance. Roy Grassi and David Mull on row 3. Toby Owen and Alex Jameson row 4. Jason Powell and Mark Werrell on row 5. Stu Neal and Aaron Large row 6. Alex Saunders and Kiki Mack row 7. So once again, Kiki just can't get a break. Brendan Van Heeden and Christus Poderns on row 8. Gattis Stalzens and Chris Callahan row 9. Matt Webb and Colin Dunn at the back of the field. I mean, Andy Gillone could just pull over and wait for the field to come past him. I did nearly suggest that, and then we wrapped the interview up. But he did call that. He did call that. He got absolutely trashed last time out. He had a horrible incident at turn 4 at Nürburgring last time out in the random grid race. But at least one of the Celtic Bromance, Kiki Mack, is fairly well. Where is JP McKinley? Oh, yes, up in 4th. So that's probably the first time all season he's had a decent spot in the random grid race. But race number 2 here at Silverstone. Wind them up and let them go. Who is going to be bravest on the brakes and who is going to have the best starts? Really actually hard to tell from the camera angle, but it looks like it's a good one from Gillone. He's not letting everybody through. Oh, Quinton Chauvetot trying to hold on to that. Whoa. Oh, he is pulling over. Gillone is letting the field go. He has indeed listened to my advice. He wants to have a fight through the field. Fair play to Andy Gillone. Well, he's got nothing to lose now. Chauvetot now leads the way. Josh Quincy second. Roy Grassi third. JP McKinley still 4th. He's lost a spot there in the early fracas. Mole 5th. And all the way up to 6th position already. Christus Poderns in the blue BMW. What a fight right ahead of him. Werrell in 7th. He's having a go at Aaron Large. Well, Aaron Large is having a go at him, beg your pardon. Right behind Mark Werrell is Jason Powell and Alex Saunders. Alex had a terrible start. It's all the way down there in the 10th position now. Where is Gillone? There he is. He's now got his foot down. He's fallen down to 16th place. Right behind him, Kiki Mack. Toby Owens had a bit of a trouble with Alex Jameson and Brendan Van... Oh, not again. Brendan Van Heeden has had trouble. It's really his boom or bust for the South African. It's Mark Werrell that's opened the penalty scoreboard with a 2-second penalty already. That's impressive. Oh, big move from Josh Quincy. My word, that was a huge move on the inside of Maggots to then get through the cut through. But he has relinquished that position. Well, he's done the relinquished it. It's been taken from him by Roy Grassi. JP McKinley still there in 4th position. Great scrap right ahead of him. Grassi trying to muscle his way past Josh Quincy for that 2nd place. McKinley just holding on in there, waiting for his opportunity. There is Christus Poderns and David Mull having an argument for 5th position. Mull on the inside line coming through Luffield. Can he do it? Yes, he can. No, he can't. Not quite nearly. But so Poderns almost got boxed in, actually. There's Roy Grassi side by side with Josh Quincy coming down into Cops. Gets the move done, but that's allowing Quinton Chauvetot a bit of breathing space up front. There is, wow, look at that. JP McKinley cuts across Poderns there to defend that 4th position. Down into the cut through once again. Lots of brakes, tyre smoke going on. There is Christus Poderns, got a little bit deep. Aaron Large is right there. Where on earth did David Mull go? There he is. He's lost 2 positions to Aaron Large and also Jason Powell. And also Mark Werrell's gone past him. It's a terrible move there, or a terrible mistake there from, well, probably was only actually a minor mistake from David Mull. But that's cost him a bit of position. There's Mark Werrell. Oh no! What's happened there? Who's that falling through the field? It's Josh Quincy. with Josh Quincy, and it looked like Christus Podens had come together. Oh dear, that's not ideal. Gillham's now down to 19th. I think he's just determined to have some fun. I don't think he's racing anymore. He's just getting the slipstream going. Chauvetot now being chased hard by Roy Grassi, but right behind JP McKinley is a hell of a lot of action going on. Aaron Large, Jason Powell, and David Moll right on board. Christus Podens, look at that side by side. Aaron Large, Jason Powell coming through the cut through onto the Wellington straight. Still side by side. Now the BMW has managed to get ahead just on the Renault. Just about kind of seeing through David Moll's car to have a look at that particular fight. Here comes Podens on the inside line coming into Brooklands. Lots of tyre smoke, and that's going to be, is it 6th position? Just no, David Moll's going to have the inside line coming into Luffield. And Podens did get boxed in there behind Jason Powell. Still side, Aaron Large and Jason Powell still side by side. As didn't mean to turn the speedo on there. As they come through, Woodcock to start another lap, and again, Yoko's on nowhere to go. David Moll is right hand side by side coming through. Cops, that's allowed. There is Alex Saunders catching up with them now. My goodness me. While this big old battle is going on, I dare not look away, but I need to look away very briefly because there's the Roy Grassi's now on the back of Quintin Chauvetot. Actually, Josh Quincy, look at that! That is a battle from 3rd down to 12th. My word, so that is McKinley, Powell, Large, Moll, Saunders, excuse me. Oh dear, is David Moll and that's Saunders side by side. There they are. Oh, Moll's got boxed in behind Aaron Large. Jason Powell now on the outside line. Oh, cuts right ahead of the full set 37, 33, beg your pardon. Mark Werrell's in there as well. He's got Callahan, Stalzert and Quincy right behind him. Still, David Moll and Alex Saunders having their own argument. There on the other side of David Moll, it's Yoga. It's Christus Podens trying to make up a position. We're right on board with Mark Werrell. He's got a great ringside seat for the entire scene unfolding ahead of him. Oh, a bit of a punch in the face there from Christus Podens on David Moll. There's a great opportunity if Mark can get a great slipstream, but the Wellington straight's not that long. Of course, everyone is slipstreaming off of everybody else. And lots of locking up there from the front wheel drive cars. Oh, Chris Callahan on the inside line of Mark Werrell. Oh my goodness me, that we just saw Christus Podens bouncing over the grass. I think that was David Moll with a big snap of oversteer right behind there. Mark Werrell and Gattis Stalzert tangling up, and Chris Callahan now back behind Mark Werrell. It's impossible to keep up with all this lot. Aaron Large was briefly ahead of JP McKinley for that podium spot, but hasn't quite held it. Look at that! And he's third. That's what 3rd down to 12th looks like. Lots of side-by-side going on. Oh, Chris Callahan alongside Josh Quincy. Going into the cut-through, can't quite hold on to that one. If we jump up to David Moll, if we go with the roof camera, we can actually see a bit more. We jump on board with Alex Saunders. There on the left-hand side, you see Christus Podens has made his way past. Jason Powell is challenging JP McKinley. Oh, JP's gone a bit deep. 3 wide coming through Brooklands. And look at that, Podens has navigated all of them. 3 wide now going through Luffield. My word, this is why I love random grid racing. Oh no, that's Aaron Large has tangled up with Jason Powell. 4 wide! What on earth going through Woodcombe? Mark Werrell sneaks through into 6th position. Oh no, there goes Aaron Large and Jason Powell. They've tangled up, they've gone off the road. Oh, and they've tangled up with each other as they've rejoined the track. I mean, it was amazing they didn't catch anybody else. My goodness me. A great shame for their race to come to an end in that manner. But look at that, Roy Grassi and Quintin Chauvetot have left everyone behind them to the tune of about 4 seconds. But look at then you've got behind Christus Podens, JP McKinley, Alex Saunders. That's a really long camera angle. This is an almighty great pack of cars that has unfortunately lost from its ranks. Aaron Large and Jason Powell on board with Chris Callahan now, 10th position. That is Gattis Stalzer's right ahead of us. And Josh Quincy, Mark Wells lost the spot to David Moll. And there is the German, the number 33. Right ahead of them is Alex Saunders and JP McKinley having their argument for fourth. What is fourth position now? Styles and Lilley going to try and go side by side with Josh Quincy coming through comps. Didn't quite come off this time. Just like Alex Jameson's caught them, but he's catching the back of that particular pack, so that is now 3rd to 11th. Although Podence is beginning to drop this particular back. You see the blue BMW in the front of that line is breaking away from them. Still 6.5 minutes to go though, still plenty of time. Where's our champ? There he is. He's having an argument with Kiki Mack, but Andy Gillone's just determined to be sideways as much as he can, which is fair enough. But he's still there. He's just parked up with the spectators' view now. So there we go. Podence is just going to dance off into the distance now. There's Alex Jameson. He's caught the back of this particular pack now. As Saunders, Saunders has gone ahead of JP McKinley for 4th position. Right behind McKinley is David Moll. Then Mark Well, Josh Quincy, Gattis Stalzens, Chris Callahan and Alex Jameson. We'll be right on the roof cam of Callahan. Jumping forward. He's going forward again. Oh no, that's a tangle! Who's gone off? Who was that that's gone off? It was McKinley! No! JP McKinley is tangled up with someone. I didn't see who he tangled with, unfortunately. Oh, that is a tragedy. Oh, there it is. It's Aaron Large. Oh, no. An absolute travesty. They've been doing so well. Well, that's promoted most people along this pack. Oh, Mark Well on the inside line. Great move on the inside of Luffield to take 5th position from Josh Quincy. Quick look at penalties. 2 for Podence, 3 for Saunders, 2 for Werrell, 1 for Stalzens, 4 for Callahan, 1 for Powell. That's the top 10. Side by side coming into cops once again between Mark Werrell and Josh Quincy. Doesn't quite come off right behind them. There's Stalzens making a move on Chris Callahan. Apologies for the stuttering, I don't know why. Whoa, that's deep for Jameson. Oh no! That was Quincy. Josh Quincy. I didn't see who the other one was. There was 2 BMWs that kind of parted the waves there. I didn't quite see who the other was. My goodness me, it's just impossible to keep up with everything going on. That's the view from JP McKinley. A lot of people are already ahead of him. The stewards may have a fair amount to do, but up front, guess who's lurking right behind the two leaders? So Quincy Jovito's had the lead all race long, 4 minutes ago, and there is the looming blue BMW of Christus Podence. We'll see how that transpires. Riding on board with David Moll, as that's Chris Callahan's gone a little bit deep. James ahead of him, Mark Well ahead of them. So there's Mark leading this little quartet. Going into the cut through once again, coming from Maggots through to the Wellington Straight. David Moll closes in on Chris Callahan. Can he get the drive he needs to? Onto the Wellington Straight. Callahan is sticking to the racing line. Is David Moll going to try and wing that one on the inside of Brooklands? He's committed to it. Can he pull it off? Oh, yes he can. He needs to get it done before they get to Luffield. Yes, he does. Chris Callahan relinquishes that one. Jameson tries an outside manoeuvre on Mark Werrell through Luffield. Doesn't come off. We saw that plenty of times in race 1. It never really happens the way you wanted to for the guy on the outside. But he's gone on the inside line through Woodcote. And let's say he's going to claim that 5th position from Mark Werrell. And doesn't look like Mark's going to fight that one. That move is done before they get back to Cox. Mark Werrell concedes the 5th position for now. Whoa, that's too much for Christus Podence. He's going to take a slightly more direct route through the cut through. Well, that's going to give a big amount of breathing space to Quintin Chauvetot and Roy Grassi. Now, you could think this might reinvigorate the championship chances for Roy Grassi, being that Andy Gillone is down there in 18th. But bearing in mind that Andy Gillone had a considerable point advantage before starting this race, so what it would realistically do is just make that point advantage slightly smaller. But even still, Pressing on. 2 minutes, just over 2 minutes to go. So 3 laps remain. There goes Saunders, Jameson, Werrell, Mole, Callahan. Great scrap going on, bearing in mind that Mark Werrell and Chris Callahan leaders in the Go Bobby Cup. So still that to play for. They might be playing it cool, but I mean, they're still fighting as much as they can to maximise their points potential. What's Callahan's penalty? Just 5 seconds now for Chris Callahan. They're just pushing that hard. They're just saying whatever to the penalty count. Oh, that's Roy Grassi making a move for Quintin Shobito for the lead. So Quintin made a mistake going into Brooklands, and Roy Grassi's now taken the lead of the race. Quintin just needs to stay within. Oh no, Roy Grassi doesn't have a penalty on the board, so Quintin either needs to make the move on track 2 to go. Oh, Roy Grassi feeling the need to defend the inside line coming into Cox as we lose one from the race. That's Christus Podert getting involved in the lead battle. Oh, that's close as he manages to muscle his way past Quintin Shobito, coming into Maggots now into the cut through. Nicely done, nice clean racing from them, but of course Yogo does have that penalty to serve. Jumping back to the next battle in line on board with Chris Callahan as he's right on board with David Moll. There's a bit of a gap forming between himself and Mark Werrell. Mark is in the slipstream of Alex Jameson, thinks about an inside line coming into Brooklands. They opts not to go for it. They do Mark Werrell nicely if he can stay in the slipstream with someone like Alex Jameson. That's phenomenally fast. And Mark on for a very, very strong result in this season. Oh, side by side, Roy Grassi and Christus Podert. The BMW on the outside line, the Renault holding the inside. Oops, a bit of a touch between the two, but they survive as they come through Woodcote now, through Cops, beg your pardon. Now to Maggers, the BMW's keeping his foot in it. Wants the outside line for the cut through, but doesn't hold. He's going to try and cut back underneath the Renault now. But Roy Grassi's having none of that. Quintin Shobito is right there in case it all goes wrong. Now Christus does nose up into the lead, but Roy Grassi is going to have the inside line coming into Brooklands. Is he going to let him go? He pretty much does, but here comes Shobito. Can he do anything about it? For full send, not quite. Oh, Roy Grassi nearly nudging the back of Christus Podert. So it's 2 for 2 for Podert, but again, due to penalties, he'll be denied the top spot. Your winner for race number 2, once the penalties have shaken out, is going to be the Scotsman. So, well, both races have been won by Scotsman. It's Roy Grassi taking the win. Quintin Shobito in second place. And with Poders demoted to third, Jameson fourth, Saunders fifth, Moll sixth, Mark Werrell demoted to seventh in the end due to penalties. Chris Callahan eighth, Toby Owen ninth. A top 10 finish for the founder. Colin Dunn finishing nearly last time out, finishes 10th this time. Jason Powell 11th. Josh Quincy 12th, Aaron Large in 13th. Gautis Stalzens in 14th position. Stu Neal 15th. JP McKinley has nailed his car to the wall in 16th. Andy Gillone has got very little car left in 17th. Kiki Mack 18th. And Brendan Van Heeden has woken up again. And a very dead car for him. Once again, technical trouble with falling the number 25. Well, he'll crawl over the line. Doesn't really need to because the time is probably going to run out before he gets there anyway. Oh dear, what has happened to him again? Well, he beat the flag. He beat the timer, I should say. Well, it's Roy Grassi from Quintin Shobito this time for our top 2. Then Podens 3, Alex Jameson 4. This is, of course, before any Stewart's intervention. Alex Saunders 5, David Moll 6, Mark Werrell 7, Chris Callahan 8, Toby Owen 9, Colin Dunn rounds out the top 10, Jason Ball 11, Josh Quincy 12, Aaron Large in 13th, Gautis Stalzens 14, Stu Neal 15, JP McKinley 16, Andy Gillone 17, Kiki Mack 18, Brendan Van Heeden classes 19th. We lost Matt Webb in the course of the race. My goodness, once again, all kinds of madness and craziness ensued. Hopefully, our lobby host's game doesn't crash this time out. And we'll see if anybody wants to come and have a chat to me. Again, it's not mandatory, but it's always nice to have a chat to our podium 3, especially when especially if it's a podium member we don't often get to speak to, such as Quintin. He, of course, doesn't have to. It's not, like I say, it's not mandatory. I'll just drop him a quick message. See if he wants to come and have a chat. Oh, never mind. I've got people joining me, and one of them is indeed the person I was about to message. Let's have a chat to Quintin Sherbito.
Hey.
Bonjour, sir. Well, it's I can't recall the last time I had the great pleasure of having a chat to you. Well, you had a lot of work to do in that race, didn't you?
Yeah, it was incredible. The random grid made me a big favor here. And yeah, I just had to defend against Roy. Thankfully, some gaps were made behind us, and yeah, at the end, Yogurt just came and just straight past us. But yeah, podium, I'm so happy.
I can imagine so. It's been a while since we had the chance to have a chat. So, were you thinking a podium was on the cards? Is Silverstone a track that normally works for you?
Absolutely not. This version of the track is the one I am the best on a free version on this course. So, I was a bit worried that it was a random grid on this one, but yeah, it worked on my way, definitely.
Definitely so. So it's the international version to see out the night. Are you looking for maybe a top 3, top 5, top 10? Where are you putting yourself for the final race of the season?
Yeah, just top 10 would be great. it's halfway into the grid. It's a good result for me. So yeah, that podium is just big highlight of my season.
Excellent stuff. Bienvenue, mon ami. Thank you very much, Quintin Sherbito.
Thank you.
Well, we've spoken to one Bonnie Scotsman. Let's have a chat with the other one, Roy Grassi.
How you doing, Chris?
Wow, my goodness me, you would nail to the back of the BMW for a while. It looked like you gained up to him fairly quickly, but was it just, did he make a mistake, or was the pace kind of up and down a bit?
No, I think he went in a little bit defensive, so he was taking the corners tight, which was making him slower. So I was catching hand over fist on the corners, but we all know the Beamer's power down the straights. He would pull like 4 or 5 car lengths down the straights and then make it back on the corners. But he did a great job for, I don't know, 10 laps defending. It was a hell of a job. But I managed to slither through. There was a little gap at one point. I slithered through and managed to just get through. Of course, he came back alongside on the straight again, but I was on the inside this time, so it went well for me.
Nicely done. Now, you did have the fastest lap of the pair of you, I will add, looking at the numbers. Again, is Silverstone a track that tends to work for you, or just taking the results as they come?
I had a disaster in that first race. I picked up points. Despite slowing down my car, it still gave me points.
You weren't the only one struggling with the penalties.
So it was a disaster. I just picked up 3 points. Took me, I think I dropped from 5th maybe down to about 8th. So wrote that one off, to be honest. But I had a great race with David Mull, to be fair. He was solid the whole way through. We were bumper to bumper really for quite a lot of it. Brilliant. Good racing.
Very true. I mean, you were right in with the championship opportunity right up to the end. I mean, was that on the cards? Did you sort of keep an eye on that, or were you just taking the results as they came?
Nah, he's never on the cards really, unless Andrew gave up, or decided to give up, or his computer broke. But
stranger things have happened.
Yeah, it's not the way to do it, though, is it? I mean, I think he's a phenomenally quick driver, and he deserves it. So well done to Andy.
Spoken like a true gent. Nicely done. So with us moving to Assetto Corsa next time around, what's your thoughts on that for season 4?
Blimey on it. I've done a couple of championships with the VTCC and Assetto Corsa, sort of on middle of the field really. I need to put some time in, get used to the sort of the graphics and stuff. It's very different to this, isn't it?
It is. very, very true. But there'll be some time before we get the full season underway. So, looking forward to the final race?
Yeah, why not? Let's go for it. See how far we can get. If another win would be lovely, but but we'll see.
Good
I'll
man.
take whatever. Yeah. Thanks for all. Thanks for great, commentary, and I'll watch all your playbacks as well, Chris. They're all fantastic. Well done. Did a great job.
Very kind of you, good sir. It's always a pleasure to commentate on great racing that you have always been a part of providing. Thank you very much, Roy Grassi.
Cheers, Chris. Big shout out to AJR Motorsport. Bye.
Yep, not a problem at all. Right, we're just waiting for the final lobby to get underway. As mentioned, it will or should be on the international version of Silverstone. I can't remember exactly what that cuts off the top of my head. So we will see when the lobby is made. Well, it's the same lobby. I've just seen the track has been changed over. We should have... So the 5-minute practice, I believe, is still there. We should have a qualifying session to follow, unless it's decided we'll run a random grid thereafter. We will see what happens when we head down to track. So as a reminder, we will be heading over to Assetto Corsa for season number 4. That'll be in the summer, so there'll be some time between now and then to for anyone wishing to get involved. Head over to Facebook, look at the VRCC, the Virtual Racing Car Club. Get involved. We have several championships, several series going on. Also encompassing Project Cars 2. It's not just on AC, although it is primarily AC and P-Cars 2 that we operate on. As we are heading to track. Yep, we do indeed have a 15-minute qualifying session after the 5-minute practice. So plenty to look forward to. Now, this particular track, we start on the new start-finish line. It actually cuts through from the loop back onto the hangar straight. So it essentially does the bit of the track we've just skipped. In fairness, from the national version. Let's kill the music. As we head down to trackside, like I say, it's just going to be a 5-minute practice session. Make sure everybody is here. And for people to get acclimatized to where the differences of the track lie. As mentioned, it's very easy just to kind of go into autopilot almost and fly off the road. Waiting for people to load in. It's always an awkward moment in P-Cars 2 when you're hoping that we don't have a lobby problem. And we are in. 20 drivers. I'm not sure who we've lost. I think it's Carl Benson again. It's a great shame we've lost Carl from the line. I can't see the rank dropper in there. But a big stream of cars coming out on track to learn where the differences are. So if we ride on board with Mark Werrell, you'll see that there on the left-hand side is where the area is coned off, and that's the cut through that leads us through to the hangar straight. That's one way to do the exit, the cut through. So as mentioned, this is the bit of the track we've just cut out from the national version is the section we'll be doing. So we go down to Stowe and then follow the line through, back through to Village and the Loop, go through the cut through, reappear at the hangar straight, and round it goes again. So this lap is a bit longer than the national version. There's Roy Grassi, who we've not long spoken to. Aha, now I'm having an updated version of the Go Bobby Cup standings just sent over to me, or will be shortly. This ought to be close, still ought to be very, very close. Mark Werrell is now 4 points clear of Chris Callahan, and Alex Saunders is 2 points further back. They're the only three in that Go Bobby Cup championship. So it is down to Mark Werrell, who certainly is really been showing some good solid pace tonight. Chris Callahan, but in fairness, all of our Go Bobby competitors are. Mark needs to finish within 1 position of Chris Callahan to beat him. So where is Chris? There he is. Chris Callahan has led the Go Bobby Cup up to this point, and Mark Well has just taken that, so I could well have just commentated cursed Mark. But of course Alex Saunders has been absolutely flying as well, so we can't discount the full 75. Alex Saunders needs to finish 4 places clear of Mark to overhaul him. So Mark just needs to beat both Chris and, well, certainly Chris, but really needs to stay within 4 places of Alex to take it. Chris needs to beat Mark by at least a position. And Alex needs to beat Mark, particularly, by 4 places. And ideally finish ahead of Chris as well. So a few connotations of the Go Bobby Cup. Crikey. As that was a very sideways Christus Podens. Chucking it through turn 1. Or out of Abbey. Through the cut through. Whoa! It's miles off the road. You saw the car just kind of straightened up there. Didn't want to behave itself going into the turn. Still love the roar. There we go. You're looking at that kind of 108-ish and downwards. Whereas 58 seconds and downwards for the... Or upwards, I should say. For the national version. There's Josh Quincy. Now, will Andy Gillane behave himself this time? Or will he race? Will he race or will he not? We will see. He's certainly having a lot of fun last time around. So a few more, well, just over a minute left of the practice session before we get qualifying underway for the very final time in Season 3. And certainly for the final time in Project Cars 2. Oh, that's Aaron Large getting a little bit twitchy in front of Andy Gillane. As another side note, crikey, Christus Podens. As a little side note, this particular layout of Silverstone was the first place I ever got a league racing win. It was over on Project Cars 1, and I was a regular over at Apex Online Racing, which is where I started my commentary journey. 5 years ago. Well, 5 years ago was when I started commentating. Obviously after then, I got the league racing win. Oh, that's very busy. Steering wheel bouncing off of one of the Celtic Bromance pair. Mark Wells almost caught up in that. That is McKinney, is it? No, it's Kiki Mack. Ooh, got caught Roy Grassi by surprise. This is having a great old fight now, aren't they? Why not, I suppose? I mean, it is a practice session. They can practice racecraft. Why not? Right on the roof of Roy Grassi. Mark Wells at the head of this particular pack. Kiki Mack has just hauled himself ahead of Stu Neal and cuts into his nose. The exit of that cut through is absolutely crucial. Roy Grassi trying to figure out where to go and goes to the grass. Oh, that's Josh Quincy, I think. It is. It's Josh Quincy deciding to go over the line backwards, along with... Is that David Moll? No, it wasn't David Moll. Not sure who that was next to Josh. I can't see because the practice complete banners over the top of him. I can't see who it is. No, I can't. Oh, I know who that is. That's... where is he? There he is. It was Quintin. Practice done. Once again, Christus Podens and Andy Gillane. It's been those two all night long. Will it remain so in this final qualifying session? 20 drivers. The Drivers' Championship is sewn up. Andy Gillane cannot lose that one now. Looks like he's going to see the race through to its end as he's coming out. Well, a lot of people are coming out. Kiki Mack's the first one to leave the pit lane. For this final 15-minute qualifying session. Of course, the Go Bobby Cup still there for the taking. As a reminder, that was for pro drivers that had not scored a podium before this season began. So that's newcomers, promotees from the AM lobby, and also those that were in Pro last season but yet to score a podium or win or such. Mark Werrell now in the driving seat of that. He's had a pretty good night so far. So he was able to maintain that momentum. Oh, as we just lose one from the session. Everybody except for Chris Callahan, or Chris Callahan's now leaving. Toby O is yet to get underway. There's Roy Grassi at the back of quite a queue of cars. Can't quite see who that is ahead. That might be David Moll. Yep, it is indeed. And Jason Powell, Brendan Van Heeden and Aaron Large in that particular chain of cars. He's right on board with wrong one. He's right on board with David Moll. We've gone through Abbey and Farm, now down to Village. As Aaron Large has flown off the road. He's going to have to be careful how he rejoins the track. Through the cut through and then towards Chapel. Onto the Hanger Straight. Slipstream will definitely help. And that's Brendan Van Heeden pulling over and getting out of the way. As Quentin Chauvetot has rejoined the session. Into Stowe. Fair amount of sideways as well for the front wheel drive cars, in fairness. Usually it's the BMWs that do that. Jason Powell has pulled out of that one, and David Moll was a tad early on the brakes there. He was early, had to get back on the power again. And some times are now coming onto the board. 107.3 from Christos Poderns. What does David Moll get on the boards? We rode around with him. An invalid lap, or well, we didn't see where he invalidated that one, in fairness. Or he hadn't started it properly when we jumped on board with him. Stu Neal with a 109.4. So Christos Poderns currently in pole with a 107.3. He does take a very, very wide line on that on the exit of the cut through. You can see most people do. Alex Saunders, nicely done, in second position with a 108 flat. Roy Grassi third with a 108.542. Alex Jameson a 108.640. By his own admission, hadn't really practiced before tonight's race. Has Toby Owen left the pit? No, he hasn't. He's leaving that very, very late. Kiki Mack up into fifth. 108.711. Good time. Might this be a kind of final hurrah for our AM champion? Gatis Stalzens. Chasing home Brendan Van Heeden over the line. Currently in, well, no, he's up to fourth now with a 108.454. Oh, 107.223 from Poderns, continuing to improve on his monstrously quick time. There's JP McKinley. In 14th position, Alex Jameson has jumped up to second with a 107.980. As Matt Webb has jumped back to the pits, currently 12th with a 109.584. Toby Owens. Oh, now Toby Owens getting underway. Left that very, very late. But even still, half the session to go. Well, sorry, 2/3 of the session to go. Wow, that's Alex Jameson really going deep on the exit of that cut through. Who hasn't set a time yet? Oh, that's Christos Podern parked on the pit lane entry. He's having a practice start, so he was rather let down by his starts earlier in the night, so I don't blame him for that. Quentin Chauvetot over the line. 109.8 for Quintin. Sees him in 14th position. There's David Moll with a 112.3. Oh, very determined. Very committed going through Abbey. Where's Josh Quincy? There he is. Just coming over the line. What does he get on the board? No time yet. I certainly can. Farhed Ahmad. Apologies if I'm not getting that name quite correctly pronounced. So, as it currently stands, Mark Werrell, who is in the pits, leads the Go Bobby Cup by 4 points. He's now just coming back out on track. He leads Chris Callahan. So that's who he's 4 points clear of. As Chris Callahan jumps up to 12th with a 109.4. Mark in 10th with a 108.9. 2 points further back from Chris Callahan is Alex Saunders. And this is third with a 108.016. So Alex has been absolutely storming through. He was a late starter to this season, but he's been really scoring points hand over fist to make up for last time. Whoa, who was that going wide? David Moll, I think. So in order for Mark to take the championship, who's now just been demoted to 11th, as that's why Andy Gillone up into 4th position. I did that a little while ago, beg your pardon, with a 108.083. Is he going to improve on that? We'll just see him go over the line. So in order for Mark to take the Go Bobby Championship, he has to beat Chris Callahan, essentially. Ideally, Alex Saunders as well. But in order for Alex Saunders to take the position over Mark, Alex must finish 4 places clear. Bear in mind the point system is a bit different for the Go Bobby. Well, it's using the same system as the championship does. But ideally, Alex needs to finish 4 positions ahead of Mark Rowell. So it's not all sewn up yet. They're the only 3 competitors that can do it. But judging by this kind of pace, wow, as Alex was very, very deep going through Abbey and Farm there. But look at the pace difference from certainly Alex Saunders to Mark Rowell. That's nearly a second in that in that flying lap. Of course, still 7 and a bit minutes to go. So it is not all done and dusted yet for the Go Bobby Cup. Alex Jameson still with that 7.9. Sees him in 2nd place. There is Alex Saunders, the lead Renault qualifier again. Whoa! I believe that was Josh Quincy. Yes, it was. Down the Hangar Straight. Seems to be half the field coming down the Hangar Straight at the moment. There's, he's trying to get his starts right. That's the start he wants, but he doesn't want to be doing it on the grass. He's trying again. He's going to be boiling his tyres, so he's not going to be doing himself any favours. That's the sort of start he wants in the BMW, but his rear tyres are going to be absolutely on fire now. So then, 6.25 minutes to go. Christos Podens still on pole with a 7.223. Second is Alex Jameson. Where is Alex? Just going through the cut through himself. Third, Alex Saunders with a 108.016. The faithful tyre smoke from one of the Celtic Bromance pair, who now backs out of that one. And Eagle 4th. Our Season 3 champion. With a 108.025. 9 thousandths behind Alex Saunders. David Moll up into 5th position with a 108.194. Roy Grassi in 6th, 108.212. Yep, I've forgotten. Gattis Stalzens. I wanted to get it right before I tried to say it. Oh, that was a oddly positioned Christos Podens out on the infield. Whoa, lots of slidey ways from Gattis Stalzens. Going through the cut through. Going in 7th with a 108.454. Kiki Mack, 108.504. Sees him in 8th. Oh, Brendan Van Heeden, just as I clicked on his name, has gone up to 7th with a 108.427. Bit of his rear bumper hanging off. Aaron Arch, 10th, 108.645. Jason Powell in 11th with a 108.696. Toby Owen just jumped up to 12th with a 108.869. Mark Werrell in 13th position, still on 108.928. Colin Dunn, 109.074, season 14th. Chris Callahan, the pink accented Renault for Falcon Racing in 15th, 109.081. Quinty Chauvetot in the pits with a 109.339 in 16th place. JP McKinley, is he going to improve as he comes over the line? Not this time, 108.442, being chased home by Roy Grassi. Stu Neal, 109.481, sees him in 18th. Does he improve? Not this time. Matt Webb, 108.584 in 19th, hasn't left the pits, or isn't leaving the pits at the moment, I should say. Josh Quincy, just coming over the line, 109.964, sees him at the tail of the field. So really, it's, at the moment, judging by that kind of pace, it's all on Alex Saunders, as far as the Go Bobby Cup is concerned. It's, at that kind of pace, it's his to lose. Lead Renault by quite some way. Well, lead Renault in the over David Moll, not by very much, only 41 thousandths of a second. Oh, there's Aaron Ladd in an odd position. And the Jameson's return to the pits. 3 minutes on the clock to go. And still, Christos Bowden's looking to improve. That was someone parked on the side. I didn't quite see who that was. Just it mind boggles on how he does it. Alex Saunders has returned to the pits. Could come out again, and he's having more start practice. Is Potence? Excuse me. More bit of slidey ways from Gillone. Heading through club. 108.025, does he improve? Not this time. Still sees him in 4th position. Oh, that's Toby Owen pulling into the dust and slamming against the wall. Oh, that was an improvement there. It was Stalzens. It's down to Stalzens, 108.220. Sees him in 7th position. Nicely done. 2 minutes to go, this final qualifying session of the season. And that man there is still in pole. Shall we have a look at this? Colin Dunn, the second of the Track and Beyond Renaults. Certainly won your spot from a mile away with the bright green on him. And down towards Vale once again. 108.968, only 0.04 of a second behind Mark Werrell in 13th place. Through club, can he improve? Only 14th. What can he do from there? Is it an improvement? Not this time. There's Mark Werrell, just saw him at the back of the shot. Does the 99 car improve? Yes, he does. 108.703, a couple of tenths there. Puts him back ahead of Toby Owen in 12th place. 1 minute to go. Well, Toby Owen is back in the pits. He will not improve. Gatis Stalzen's return to the pits. He won't improve either. Chris Callahan, Quinton Chauvetot, Matt Webb, all in the pits. Will not have time to set a new time, as that's completely overcooked from Christos Podens. He may well just be opting to sit there and do some more start practice. It seems like it starts to really bothered him, because he's been doing start practice for quite a lot of this session. There's Roy Grassi. You actually heard the mighty roar of that BMW engine. Andy Gillone has returned, 108.025 this time. Roy Grassi won't improve. 108.212. Best he can start is 6th position. Saunders is there. More start practice for Christos Podens. And Alex Saunders is chasing Alex Jameson. Oh, no. That's not going to do it. I think he knew he'd gone in too deep there. Jameson was continuing. That's Stu Neal that's putting out of his fellow Ambition Racing BMW's way. Can Alex Jameson improve? Let us see what he can do here. Down to Vale. One of only two drivers in the 107s. The other, of course, being our poleman Christos Podens. Through club. to the line. 107.924. Does he improve? He improves in time, but not position. 107 rather 893. Brendan Van Heeden is done. Jason Powell is just coming through club now. 108.696 sees him in 11th. Does he improve? Answer: not this time. Colin Dunn just coming over the line. I don't think he improved either. So for the final grid of the season, once again, it's Christus Podens on the top. This time it's Alex Jamieson. So it is a Ambition BMW, but it's the other one. It's number 3. I say the other one, there's 3 of them, but it's Alex Jamieson this time that takes the front row. Alex Saunders, our lead qualifying Renault, alongside Andy Gillone on row 2. David Moll and Roy Grassi in row 3. Gattis Stalzens and Brendan Van Heeden on row 4. Kiki Mack and Aaron Large on row 5. Jason Powell and Mark Werrell, row 6. Toby Owen, Colin Dunn, row 7. Chris Callahan and Quinton Sherbito on row 8. Stu Neal and Josh Quincy on row 9. And it's JP McKinley and Matt Webb taking on the back row. I was about to unfairly say once again it's the Celtic Bromance pair at the back. Now, it meant no disrespect from that, but of course Kiki Mack's right up there in 9th. So that sentence got completely undone as I was saying it. Right then, it is time to wrap up season number 3. What is this cameraman doing? What is over there that's supposedly so interesting? Goodness me. We'll chase behind. We'll have the drone sitting behind Ali Gillone for a few minutes. Can you imagine that? Yeah, everyone is sat there ready to go. The cameraman's drunk, so a drone then flies onto the grid. That wouldn't be distracting at all, would it? Future events is just this army of drones flying around cars trying to get the best camera angles. I think not, somehow. Right, 30 seconds then for whoever hasn't readied up to hit that ready button and get the final race underway. Andy Gillone may well have sewn up the Drivers' Championship. The Go Bobbies Cup still to decide. We know this procedure by now. It is time to wind them up and let them go! Has the start practice paid off for Podens? It has indeed. As Saunders ends up going backwards, but such is the dominant... Oh no! Stu Neal had flown off the road, hit the wall very, very badly, hasn't even made it to turn 1, and is slammed into the wall. But Podens leads Jameson, leads Gillone. Oh, Gillone means business on the outside of Village, trying to make the move on Alex Jameson to Nova. Roy Grassi up into 4th, demotes Alex Saunders another position. Through the cut through onto the hanger straight for the first time in anger. How well has the field come through? Looks like everybody other than Stu Neal has come away unscathed. Matt Webb hasn't had a good start, falling off the back of the field, but huge damage for Stu Neal. What on earth? Oh, that's not good. That car will not behave itself. But Callahan all the way to the back of the field. A terrible start for the 49. Is there damage on his car as well? Was it he who tangled up with Stu Neal? Oh, someone was spun round. I think it's Aaron Large. Aaron Large has spun round in the banana split BMW. Oh dear, oh dear. Look at this. Christus Podens has shown up and shown his heavy right foot nearly a second ahead of Andy Gillone now up into 2nd. He's already demoted his teammate down to 3rd. Here comes Roy Grassi to try and make Alex Jameson's day even worse. Can he get it done? Can the Mint Accent of Renault demote the South African another position? Not this time, at least, although James has gone very, very deep. And on they go. Roy Grassi, 4th. Alex Saunders now getting into his rhythm, keeping Brendan Van Heeden at bay. Wants to try and head more towards where he started from. He's in the position he needs to be to keep keep his chances for the Go Bobby Cup. Oh, that we just saw. And now lots of penalties on the board. Mark Werrell and JP McKinney and Chris Callahan, 2 of our Go Bobby Cup contenders indeed with penalties. And Colin Dunn, 4 people with penalties in the same lap. And Saunders as well, so 5 drivers with a penalty in that 1 lap alone. Don't discount anything, I think it's fair to say. Whoa, is that once again, he's a crab, as he is affectionately called, or Gatis Stalson's really going a tad too deep, going through Abbey and Farm. More penalties creeping up onto the board now. My word. Let's have a quick look at what they are. So it's 1 for Saunders, 1 for Stalsons, 2 for Powell. Oh, we've lost. I suspect I know who it is we've lost. Yes, indeed. Stu Neal is gone. Matt Webb has gone as well. So Matt Webb's luck has not improved. Chris Callahan, that does look like... Is that damage to the front of the Renault? Or is it just the way the livery looks? No, there's not damage to the front of the Renault. He's just not having a good race at the moment. Currently at the tail end of the field. There's Mark Werrell being challenged by JP McKinley right ahead of him. Toby Owen on the back of Josh Quincy, side by side now, coming through the final couple of turns, through Club. Still side by side, Josh Quincy just ahead of the Renault and maintains that spot. Nicely done. That's the view from Stalsons. He's having a look at David Moll, defensive line coming into Village. And he's going to cut back for the BMW. Can he get it done when they come through the cut through? Yes, he can. David Moll knew he couldn't maintain that one. And through to 7th for the orange BMW. Brendan Van Heeden's got a great view ahead of him. That is Alex Saunders having a go at Roy Grassi for 4th position. The top few have pretty much they've spread out somewhat. Oh, the 2 Renaults come together, coming through Stowe. Oh, Roy Grassi nearly been shoved off the road by Alex Saunders. The Ambition BMWs are still together. Look at that, still side by side, as Alex Saunders, determined to make the move stick, just works his way back into 4th. But Roy Grassi's having none of that on the inside line through Club, and he wants that position back. He hasn't quite got it yet, but here comes Brandon Van Heeden. Can he get it done? No, he remains where he is. Roy Grassi having the inside line coming through Abbey. Oh, as Brendan Van Heeden nearly slams into the back of Alex Saunders. But Roy Grassi now back up into 4th. Big lock up there. Brendan Van Heeden on the inside line coming through Village. Can't quite get it done though. So remains in 6th position. Everybody except for the top 4 have penalties. My word, look at that. That is absolutely amazing. Side by side, Saunders and Grassi once again coming down towards Stowe. There at the bottom of the shot is Gillone and Jameson there, and a great scrap for 2nd. Oh, as Grassi tries to turn in, but the 75 is already there. And still side by side, gone through Stowe now. Down towards, down towards Vale. And now Gatis Stalson's getting involved in that, as Saunders again has climbed back up into 4th. But Roy Grassi can't quite get the inside line. Oh, Roy Grassi, beg your pardon. Oh, well, he was top 4 when I made the declaration that the top 4 don't have penalties. Just a big train of cars right behind him. Not because these 2 are fighting, it's just the way that he's got. And there again! Oh, my goodness. Stalsons is really fighting to keep his car on the road. Now, Brendan Van Heeden has jumped ahead of Roy Grassi, so Roy down to 6th position now. What a great fight we've got going on for 4th place. And there's David Moll, I believe. Yes, it is David Moll on the back of the orange BMW. Right behind them, actually, Kiki Mack is still up in 9th position, so he's held on to that spot that he qualified in. And then right the way... So then behind them is the battle from 11th down to 16th. And Chris Callahan and Quintin Chauvet. Oh, Quintin! What's happened to Quintin? He's got a lot of damage on his BMW. That's a shame. Once again, sideways, both of them, tandem drifting. The Ambition BMW is just having a good old scrap. Oh, David Moll on the inside line on Gatis Stalsons. Can't get it done though. Maintains his 8th position behind the BMW. Roy Grassi just basically needs to sit there. He'll inherit that 4th position if nothing else changes, but he's going to try and make the move on track. Oh, big move from Brendan Van Heiden, but can't get it done though. Alex Saunders had that one covered off. Alex Saunders is in the... Oh, that's Jameson! Alex Jameson has had trouble on the cut through. Andy Gillone, oh, they've come together. There's Gillone as well. Andy Gillone and Alex Jameson have come together whilst I was looking at the battle right behind them. And now Alex Jameson has fallen to 6th position. Is there damage on the BMWs? Well, Andy Gillone's car looks okay. There goes Christopher Podens now with a country mile between him and anybody else. Now, the BMWs look okay, so they may have escaped any major damage. But that's just put them right in the midst of this particular pack now. Further back, Colin Dunn on the back of a 4-car train. That's David Moll, who's managed to get ahead of, well, Kiki Mack, and then up into 8th, now having to go for 7th on the outside of David Moll going through turn 1. Going through Abbey, can he get it done? And Jason Powell following through as well. But David Moll's now going to have the inside line coming into Village. 3 wide almost going into that turn. And Jason Powell has to concede that one. Kiki Mack, great effort. Didn't quite come off as David Moll fended off the advances of the Celtic Bromance car. Oh, Quintin, it was a shame to see you in chat. Great shame. You have to explain what happened, sir. We did see you at the back of the field with a rather rearranged BMW. That's the battle for second then. It's Gillone, Saunders, Van Heiden, Grassi and Jameson. Oh no, the internet disconnect after damage to turn 1. Oh dear, oh dear. Still plenty of fighting to go. Well, Aaron Large, he's very much on his own there at the back, but Josh Quinty isn't. Side by side with JP McKinley. The Celtic Bromance Rhino getting ahead of the Falcon Racing BMW. There's Mark Werrell. He's shaking Toby Owen. He's actually got ahead of Toby Owen from the last time we looked at him. Now chasing Jason Powell on this particular pack that's been led by David Moll. So it's the battle for 7th he's got up with now. That's a bit of an uncomfortable position to be in for Andy Gillone. He's got a lot of people right on his tail. Oh, Saunders thinking about an inside manoeuvre coming in to Stowe. He's got alongside the BMW. Can he get it to stick? Andy Gillone cuts back underneath him. And just dances straight back in. It was a great effort from Alex Saunders there. Oh, Brendan Van Heiden. Oh, that looks so close from that camera angle. So that's 3rd position for Alex Saunders. Even with the penalties, he's looking good for the Go Bobby Cup at the moment. There's still another 4.5 minutes to go. And with how close everybody is, that could change in an absolute heartbeat. Brent is just nailed to the back of the full Sen 75. Through the cut through onto the hanger straight once again. Full send indeed, Mr. Jovato. Oh, in the background, that's David Moll fending off Kiki Merrick. With Colin Dunn, Jason Powell and Mark Werrell in hot pursuit as well. That's the view from Mark Werrell. You can see the fight going on up front. Kiki Mack still trying to advance on the German, but David Moll is having none of that. Difficult to know where to lurk at the moment. Oh wow, it's trouble for Staltons. He's fallen down to 13th position behind Toby Owen. But I'm not even going to attempt to figure out how the penalties are going to work out. Not even attempting it. As everybody except for 3 drivers now have penalties on board. So just Podens, Gillone and Grassi are the only ones that do not have a penalty. All 3 wide! What on earth? Gillone is being mugged. What is Brendan Van Heiden doing? That is a penalty if ever I saw one. Surely that is an off-track overtake. There goes Saunders, and there comes Gillone as well. Saunders is pulling over. Oh, this is all going to get very, very messy. So Saunders had to give that one up. I think there's been impact between himself and Brendan Van Eden. So Saunders now down to 4th. Whoa, Brendan Van Eden touched the brakes on the grass, but managed to hold that one. Saunders is just about kept Brendan Van Eden. Well, now the South Africans are having an argument for the back end of this train. Brendan Van Eden holding on to 5th position. 2.5 minutes to go. My goodness. So Gillone resumes the lead of this conga line. Grassi now up into 3rd. Saunders 4th, Van Eden 5th, Jameson is 6th. Of course, penalties are likely to, well, will shuffle this around, not just likely to. Look at that one. For some people they won't, because they've all got the same amount of penalties, but absolutely amazing stuff. And now Toby Owen has, well, from last time we looked, Stalters is back ahead of Toby Owen, but they've caught the back of Mark Wells. Mark Wells' car, who's still on the back of that particular conga line for 7th position. Oh, Stalzens, rather, is all over the place in that BMW. As Jameson and Van Eden side by side coming through Stowe. Oh, not again. Not again. That's in the pits for Van Eden. He's got trouble again. We didn't see him hit anything. But he is in to retire, I dare say. Not again. Brandon Van Heden for a challenge from a podium. And now seemingly out of the race. Oh my days. There goes Jameson sliding his way through turn 1. This is going to be the penultimate lap, as so we see Saunders having an argument with Roy Grassi for 3rd place. Although penalties, of course, will completely change that. Yep, that is Brendan Van Heden leaving the session. Still all to play for here. My goodness me. There, we just saw going into the shot was David Mull, of which this is the back of that particular train. That's 6th to 12th. Oh, whilst I looked away, Saunders on the inside line, going through Stowe on Roy Grassi. Down towards Club once again. Sorry, Vale and then Club, I should say. Checkered flag is going to be out in 5 seconds. So they're now going to be starting their final lap. And Andy Gillone is defending from Alex Saunders. Just a reminder of who the leader actually is. It's still this man, still Christus Podens. You can just ignore the fact that he has a 4th gear in that car. 2nd to 5th still involved in their battle. The 6th down to 12th train seems to be splitting a little bit. Who is going to... It's also going to be how the penalties are going to work out. But it does look like Andy Gillone is going to fend off the advances of Alex Saunders this time around, even without penalties needing to be involved. Well, crossing the line first 3 times out of 3, he gets to keep this one. Your winner for Silverstone on race number 3. It's Christus Podens. He's going to keep that one. No penalties on the board. Save for Andy Gillone. He's going to come in 2nd place. Alex Saunders will cross the line in 3rd, but will be demoted. Roy Grassi will inherit the last podium spot. Alex Jameson still currently 5th. Here comes the next train. David Moll 6th, Colin Dunn 7th, Kiki Mack 8th, although Kiki Mack jumps up to 6th position because of the penalties. Mark Werrell up into 8th position. Oh, now that's interesting. I think Alex Saunders has done it. He's finished 4 positions ahead of Mark Werrell, which is exactly where he needed to be. Several people have already left the session, so that's going to upset the board a little bit. I actually think Alex Saunders has done it. The notes I was given that he had to finish 4 positions ahead of Mark, and Josh Quincy has nailed it into the ball. You haven't finished yet, sir? Well, he's going to do some donuts anyway. Why not? There's one way to see the season out. Is he going to beat the timer? Just. So then, before any steward's intervention, it is, once again, it's the same two names at the top. It is Christos Podens and Andy Gillone first and second, then Roy Grassi in third, Alex Anders fourth, Alex Jameson fifth, Kiki Max sixth, David Moll seventh, Mark Werrell eighth, Toby Owen 9, Colin Dunn in 10th position, then Gattis Stalzens in 11th, Chris Callahan 12th, Aaron Large 13, JP McKinley 14, Josh Quincy 15. We lost Stu Neal early on. We lost several drivers indeed early on. Quincy Jovido being one of them. Well, quite a number. Matt Webb, Brendan Van Heeden. Can't remember who else. My word, what a way to see the season out. So for the final time, let's get the interview music on the go and see who has jumped into the box with me this time. It's Mr. Podens again. Hello to you, sir.
Hello.
Did you fall asleep in that last race? You actually had very little to do.
Tried not to. I just try to, enjoy my time. And yeah, that's basically it.
Oh, what a way to see the season now. Your pace is just unreal. How do you do it?
Well, in this particular case, I would say that most of my pace came from that one corner. It was the right-hander before the straight.
Mm-hmm.
And many people didn't know that you can actually cut there as much as you want without getting a slowdown. And so I just used that corner as much as I could. And that basically gave me a lot of time. I mean, yeah, if I wouldn't have used that, it would have been probably close. But yeah, it was kind of a bit too easy, to be honest. I kind of, regret that I found that little thing. But yeah, whatever, cannot really complain about a win.
It's the way it goes, isn't it? Well,
happy about the season's last race, to be able to win it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Will we see you back for future VRCC events?
Maybe. If I find something that interests me, then I'll definitely join.
Awesome stuff. Great win. Unbelievably quick pace. It's been a great pleasure to have you as part of the season. And we look forward to seeing you again. Thank you very much, Christos Podens. Guten Abend, Herr Moll.
How much I missed that. Guten Abend.
I've been wanting to say that for so long, and you've been so close so many times. But it's great. It's great to have you in the box, sir. How are you doing?
Oh, it was a really, really exhausting race. After I heard that for the last race I needed more than 2 points to get P3 overall, I was really, really pushing it. Then I got a stupid penalty, and I think I need a drink now.
Only 3 drivers didn't have a penalty in that last race. That's how mad that one was.
The track was mad.
So, last season Silverstone had the classic cars. This time it's all 3 layouts. Is Silverstone going to be a race you remember, or a race you want to forget?
Yes and no. So the first 2 races were really good. I really enjoyed it. There were some great battles. The third one was just too mentally exhausting because I had this massive group behind me who were all in my penalty range and had no idea if they had penalties too. So yeah, I think Silverstone is good, but only the first 2 circuits.
That last one certainly caught a lot of people out as far as penalties were concerned. As a regular over here at the VRCC, are you happy that we're migrating over to Assetto Corsa for the VTCC?
For the features of the game, yes. For me personally, no. I have AC, but I've never ever driven it, except one time at Gamescom. So I really need to get my move on if I want to get quick there as well. But I think I will definitely join the next league again.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear. It's been a great pleasure to commentate on your incredible progress. Tolles Rennen, Herr Moll. Dankeschön.
Dankeschön. Noch einen schönen Abend.
Thank you very much, David Moll. It's been a great pleasure to chat to you as always. No one else wanted to come and have a chat to me, which is absolutely fine. I'd imagine everyone is absolutely knackered after that. But what an amazing way to see the season out. I think we will wrap it up at this point. Thank you very much to those that have been with us throughout the stream and those that catch up with us afterwards. A great pleasure to have you on board. As mentioned, that is the last race of the season. We will be moving over to Assetto Corsa next time out. Oh, that's interesting. Now, I've just been informed that Mark Werrell has actually taken the GoBobby.co.uk championship. I thought that Alex needed to be 4 places clear, which I thought he was, but that may well have been changed. But Mark Werrell has, I've been informed now, been crowned as our GoBobby champion. That is awesome to see. And there he is. I'm very glad to have the GoBobby.co.uk champion in the box, Mark Werrell.
Thanks, Chris. How the hell did that happen?
Well, you kept it the cleanest. I mean, that pack you were in, you were at kind of the tail end of the conga line, and you just kind of... that must have been quite hard work to keep it on that kind of track that everyone was getting penalties on. That must have been really tricky to keep it clean.
Difficulty is that you can only see on the relative the car ahead of you and maybe the car behind you what penalties they've got. So I knew I was on 1 second. I was caught up behind Toby Owen, and he did say, I sent it going up into at the end of the hangar straight. I sent it up the inside there, and I said, well, I know what I need to do. I know I can't sit behind you. I've got to gain some more places. And it just worked out, and I have no idea why. I should not have been here for the whole championship, let alone winning the Go Bobby. So I'm as pleased as anybody. But I've got to say, this is only my second online championship. I've done some stuff with iRacing in the past. It's the first time I've done a championship in Project Cars 2. But the way that the Virtual Racing Car Club and Toby Owen and everybody, yourself and McRae and all of the stewards in the background put this championship together, it's hugely professional. Every single driver has huge respect for each other, and I'll be back because this is just good fun.
That is great to hear. Very kind of your comments, Mark. It's very much appreciated. But that is exactly what we strive for, and we always welcome any new drivers coming on board. Now, as mentioned, Mark, we'll be heading over to Assetto Corsa next time around. Is that a sim you've tried before?
It's a sim I've tried before. The difficulty I've got is that with my setup, I need to tweak some settings on it to make sure that the game actually plays properly visually for me. With the setup I've got, it's not great. I need to tweak some settings and maybe minimise the screen size that I'm running from. So yeah, I'll be back. Whether I'm back for a full season or not really depends on my own individual work commitments. So hopefully I'll be back for some races. Whether it's back for a whole season or not, I just don't know. But I'd love to be. Given the chance, yes, I will.
Speaking of, where will you next be in the real-life commentary box?
Next weekend, well, in theory, today I should have been over in Valencia for the opening round of the NASCAR We Live Euro Series. I've covered that from the UK. Next weekend is the opening round of the British GT and the LDC Formula 3 Championship, Brands Hatch on the Grand Prix circuit. And then a weekend after that, I'm back to Brands for the Masters Historic Festival, including the Masters Historic Formula 1 Championship. So some really good meetings to look forward to coming up.
I'm absolutely green with envy, but they couldn't have picked a better man for the job. Well done on the championship, Mark, and we very much look forward to seeing you back in these parts in the future. Thank you very much. Go Bobby champion, Mark Werrell.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Toby, as well.
Speaking of, we have the captain, the father, the founder with us, Toby Owen. Well, what a season we've had yet again, sir.
Yeah, this has been the best one yet. And we say that every season, don't we? That it just gets better and better. But yeah, this one's been so much fun to take part in and to watch as well as a supporter, as a fan. The racing's been absolutely fantastic in both lobbies.
So, as I've mentioned several times, we'll be heading over to Assetto Corsa next time around for the various tools that the sim provides to help kind of balance things out and put some more features in that is planned for the VRCC as a whole, not just the VTCC, but as the organisation. You're generally the consensus is quite positive on this, from what I gather.
Yes, I mean, I've always shied away from comparing the two. Project Cars 2 and Assetto Corsa cater for different audiences. They are both excellent titles in their own right, and Project Cars 2 has certainly been a great home for the VTCC for 3 seasons. It's provided us with some great racing. I think we're moving into the sort of territory where we're quite keen to look at things like success ballast and balance.
And long may it continue into the future. Thank you again for the opportunity to commentate on this series, and I look forward to doing it all over again in the future.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. Thanks to yourself as well for the excellent commentary and very entertaining streams that you always put on. And thank you once more this season to our series sponsors, GoBobby.uk. And how fitting that we had such a dramatic climax to the GoBobby.uk trophy as well in the final race of the season.
Indeed we did. Well, thank you very much, as always, for your incredible guidance, leadership, and literally wouldn't be anywhere without you. Thank you very much, Toby Owen.
Cheers. Good night.
And that is definitely going to wrap it up for tonight. As mentioned, thank you very much to those that have been with us throughout the stream and those catching up post-event. Always a great pleasure to have you on board. So that's going to free up Sunday nights for a little while. We'll be back in the summer. Details will be posted on the Facebook group and also in the Discord if you're a part of it. Keep an eye out for that. We will be back for season number 3, but there will be plenty of other racing action going on in Project Cars 2, in Assetto Corsa. Keep an eye on the channel. That's where you'll see the streams. Until next time, thank you very much and good night.